Cheers, queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we're back for another scene-by-scene breakdown of Pluto the series, and today we'll be starting episode 8.
Woo!
Yeah. This is the
Um,
3/4 of the way through the season.
we're getting there. It's been a long time,
It
and
has
we
been.
have so much to go, and we're very excited to keep going.
Yeah, no, we're getting into the thick of the drama, which is super fun. We're gonna get to I actually realizing what the fuck is going on. It's happening, everyone. It's
Soon.
happening. It's happening. Thank you guys for
It's
coming on the
happening.
journey with us, those that have been tuning into our breakdowns of Pluto. This show is so good. Like, honestly, there's a lot of shows going on right now, but then it's nice to come back to this and be like, yeah, there's a reason we're diving into this show so much because it's so good. So good.
It really is. There's so much in it. Obviously, as you can see, why we speak about
Obviously.
a quarter of the show for hours.
It's so good. All right. But before we dive back into this, we first want to give a shout out to our listeners that have commented since we've last filmed. So before we get into corrections and clownery, we did have a couple of participants for Caitlin's challenges at the end of the episodes. So we want to give you some recognition. So would you like to start us off, Caitlin?
Yes. So the first question was, who has more big gay energy, Oat or Jan? And Little Boots 7629 chimed in saying, Oat. Of course, Oat keeps all the secrets she clocks via owl-like observation.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
fair.
the way she just picks up women at bars. So thank you for commenting over on YouTube, Little Boots. We appreciate you. We agree. Oat is, it's hard to beat Oat when it comes to big gay energy. She has a lot.
She really does. Oh
All
my
right. And then
god.
our next question we asked was, what kind of doctor is Ton actually? And so over on YouTube, Pamela 1595 wrote, at first I thought Ton was an eye doctor, which is valid because he's in a clinic. But then when he said he'd seen many women naked, I figured he must be a regular primary care physician. And that also tracks because like it seems like he's an outpatient doctor, not like not for like hospitalized
Yeah.
people, but his clinic is in the hospital. So like that's also valid. Yeah. Like eye doctors should not be seeing naked women. I mean, when they were residents going through medical training, sure, but like Ton implies there it's beyond that. So that's valid, Pamela.
Yeah. All right. The next answer is from Cassie M
On
on
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah.
And they said dermatologist or gynecologist would fit best with Tan's statement of being accustomed with seeing women naked, in my honest opinion. Um, and then the next answer is for the Oat versus Jan for big gay energy.
Mhm.
And Kasi says, I would differentiate. Oat has more obvious gay energy, but Jan uses her gay energy more nuanced and sometimes even subconsciously.
It's true. It's so true. Oh, that's so
Which is
true.
very valid, and I think like that's the only way to compare the two is by giving them their own versions of big gay
It's
energy.
true. Yeah, no, it's difference of opinion. Uh, and then Kasi also answers the question we had, which was like, where did I learn all of her women wooing skills? So if you want to continue that.
Yeah. Yeah, Kelsey says, my guess would be that I got her gay energy from books. The logical but also boring choice.
I mean, it makes sense. She was a little reader, like a closeted reader, so it makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. Well, thank you guys for answering the call. If anyone has any opinions about any of Caitlin's challenges, please write them in and we will give you a shout out. All right, next we'll move into like general corrections and clownery. So first we'll start with YouTube with the Slayer King 666. My thought process on the reason didn't care about doing this at the wedding, meaning uh telling hey, by the way, was because at the time she didn't love Paul, and it's shown later that I is the most important person she cares about. So it tracks in my head that if she could get them, meaning I and May, to meet at the wedding, it would make her happy, her being And it wasn't until later that she realized she couldn't let May go. So that's my take, but love all your Thai girl reviews. Thank you. Yeah, it's true. Like, Oom's perspective is murky because we don't get a ton of Oom, but you're right. Like
Yeah.
I is the most important person to Oom the same way that Oom is the most important person to I. So like Oom's heartbroken about the whole May situation, but she does want I to be happy. Yeah. So I think that that point's really valid. Thank you for writing in.
And also on YouTube, Pamela1595 says, I think it's even more profound because remember when Oom tells May that she didn't love Oom, but her twin sister I, May didn't believe her. So she was confused when the maid told her Oom was there, and then she realized Oom told her the truth that day.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, yeah, like being like, no, that can't be right. Oh fuck, she was right. Like that's poor May. I feel like every character has moments like that where they're like, that can't be real. Oh fuck, it's real.
Yes,
No,
that
that's
is
true.
very
Oh
true.
man, that's a really good point. Thank you both. Shooting over to Patreon, then we have BJR who wrote, sorry, but I think that Ton did not break off his relationship with Ploy because he was told by May's dad. He primarily did it to help deflect the mental and physical abuse May was receiving from her dad. Valid. I could easily be convinced that Ton would have given up his medical school money for his relationship with Ploy, but not if May was punished too. That's fair. I in the show they did establish pretty hard that Ton and May have a very solid relationship with each other and they do care about each other. And so yeah, he's kind of like plays the role of her protective big brother. So that does make sense that his motivation was protecting May, but still he lets the people in May's family, including May, boss him around a lot. So it's a little
It's
both. But
true.
your point is very valid. And BJR continues, my diversion is I prefer oh yeah. So we also asked oh shit. If I had to, I guess, distract everybody at
Oh,
Ploy's
yeah.
party, like what would she do? And so BJ
Instead of the
instead of the puppet
actual
show.
shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So BJ writes, my diversion is I performing tricks on her motorcycle. That's a good one. Grabbing candy from May's outstretched hand at high speed, making donuts in the parking lot with headlights for illumination. Because it's dark. Unfortunately, the motorcycle was at the Bangkok shucks. Damn, that would have been awesome.
Oh my god, could you imagine
Yeah.
that?
I can imagine. That would be so fun. Although, like, poor May being the stunt double who doesn't know what's going on. May would, okay, but like, if that played out, I would not tell May what they were gonna do. She'd be like, just stand here, May. Don't worry about it. And like, wouldn't tell her
Yeah.
a goddamn thing.
Stand here with your arm out.
Yeah,
Hold
you'll
this
be fine. This
candy.
is cool, man. You're gonna hear some noises. Everything's gonna be fine. And like, oh my god. Yeah. No, that tracks. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. I do love that. I would love to see it. All right. So Cassie M says, also on Patreon, I could imagine this is to the diversion thing again.
Yes.
I could imagine I performing an impromptu concert with improvised instruments. After all, she performed for May in episode 6. Thanks for giving the restaurant opening essentially 90 minutes, which is about on par with the time I and May took appearing there.
That catwalk was so long. It was so long.
I now have a deep appreciation for the shadow puppet scene, which initially was more of a throwaway scene to me. It was such a cute scene.
It's so good. Well,
Loved it.
gaining a deeper appreciation is why we're here doing this, so we're glad.
Yep.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Continue to write in. We'll continue to give you shout outs. We appreciate it. And now let's get started with episode 8. So, episode 8, instead of picking up where we left off, we go back in time to 2022 when Oom and May were dating. Like the actual Oom, not I.
The actual
Actual Boom and Smack and May. So we pick up with Oom and May. They're in May's office and like they're huddled over a computer. And Oom is showing May this weird email she received from her company. First of all, the subject line is "Hi" with 5 exclamation points, and then the content is like professional couples photos of Oom and May.
So, like, I assumed that these should be candid photos of them out in public, like, saying, like, "I'm watching you," or something like that.
That's supposed to be the
But
implication, yes.
But they're
However,
all posed and look from a studio.
yeah, they're studio photos of like the actors. But whatever, man. The intern was like, we don't have time for this. Anyway, so yeah, but says it was sent to her like work email. Was this what she was with Paul's? Did Paul know about this? Like, was this when she was working for Paul's airline? Did it go to Paul's company? Like, is it in the record base? These photos with May?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't remember. This might be
I don't
before.
either.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember the timeline exactly. This could be Paul's company, so that's fucked. Okay. And then we get like this shot of basically I's not in the scene of May's bookshelf. And and if you notice, anytime you have like rich people, you'll see bookcases with all these like leather bound books with these like gilded edges, and you'll notice that they match usually stylistically. And so I wanted to just do a brief PSA about like why that is because I learned about it when I went to the UK. So basically wealthy people, it's a sign of wealth kind of thing. Back in the day when like you couldn't go to a bookstore and just get a bound book. Basically bookbinding was like a profession. And so super wealthy people would have their own personal bookbinder. And so anytime they want commissioned a book to get bound, they had their own style that they would
Oh.
commission. So rich people, like these books on her shelves could just be a set from like a single publisher, but back in the day it was like every single book was commissioned the exact same way to be like that is like lord who this is like Lady May's bookshelf, like this is her book binding, so it would always be the same. So that's why it's usually uniform. It's a sign of wealth that I have my own bookbinder and this is my style for my books, which I didn't know
Dang.
that.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's ridiculous, but it's cool.
Well, it's not ridiculous because before that there was no book binding. It's like it was just loose leaf papers. So like you had to
That's
get it
true. Okay.
bound. Yeah, that's what I mean. You couldn't just go to Barnes and Noble and be like, "Give me that book." Like that didn't exist. So like somebody would have to bind the book together. And so like if it's being commissioned for May, this is May's book binding. So that's why they always look the same. Which I didn't know that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is just it's just anytime you see that in media, it just means that person is rich. That's what that means because only rich people could do that. Anyway, so May back to this weird ass email that got. So May astutely concludes that this email is that says hi in the subject line is a threat. And like, in the year of our Lord and Savior lesbian Jesus, who does this? Like seriously, who does this? This is so weird.
Especially with the subject line "Hi."
Yeah, like who sends couples photos to my work email? But like a lot of that is like May picks up on the threat that like this person knows where you work, hence why it was sent to your work email. It's pictures of me, knows about your personal life. Allegedly, these are candid photos, so like when we weren't looking, and is saying hi, meaning like hi, I see you. And May's like, only one person would be doing this shit, and it's my dad. And the reason she puts together this is her dad because this type of threat is outdated, like truly. Like who emails this shit? You know what I mean? Like this is like an old school thing where like they would show up with an envelope of photos and be like, I was
Yeah.
watching you. Nowadays they would just stalk you on social media. So like this is like an outdated form of stalking, basically. And also it's homophobic, which is also outdated. So she's like, it has to be my dad. Who else would do this? Who else? And then when May says this, she's like, oh, it's my dad. Has this look on her face where she's like, do I really want to fuck with this family? This is a lot.
It is a lot. It is definitely a lot.
uh,
There's you don't even know the half of it.
no, we're just getting started. Instead of voicing that thought that's clearly passing over her face, instead is like, what does he want though? Like, why is he doing this? And then they kind of get into it. And what's interesting about this conversation that and May are having is that May looks the whole time, looks kind of like panicked because she's like, what the hell is this? This is weird. But if you watch May's just real calm. and it's like serious, but like calm. And Oom is the one having emotion. So it's almost like May expected some kind of surveillance threat from her father eventually, which is super fucked up and sad. You know what I mean? May doesn't look surprised.
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, well, thank God I know what he's trying to do now.
She's kind
Like,
of like,
she
I
doesn't have
knew
to
this was going to happen.
wonder.
Here it
Yeah.
is. That's fucked. Whereas, like, obviously she didn't tell Oom any of this because Oom's like, what is this? What's happening? But anyway.
They don't
So
talk
okay, so
much.
then after Oom is like, why would your dad do this? This prompts May to take a trip back memory lane where she's remembering a conversation with her father, which is obviously the root. This conversation is the root of the threat. Okay, so we go back in time to some memory where May is alone with her father in her father's house, I think. Where's that May's house? Maybe May's house. I
I
can't
think
remember.
Emmy's house.
I think it might be May's. They're at a table either way, and it's dead silent. He's drinking tea and she's flipping through some pages, and her dad's watching her read whatever she's reading. And it's like a law docket, a case docket, basically. And just like the present day, May is pretty emotionless when she's doing this, but you kind of see some like confusion and disgust as she's kind of going through this thing. And eventually May just like closes the thing and says to her father, well, this is clearly a case of premeditated attempted murder. So now we are back in time at the start of the Batman versus Ben trial. And like May's looking through the case and she's like, clearly Batman tried to kill this guy. And the dad's like, well, Batman's dad is my BFF. So I need you to get this case dismissed so this promising young man who almost killed Ben can go back to his privileged life.
Yeah, I noticed he said that it's his only son. Be like, "Screw the other children, like, this is the only one that matters, so
Yeah.
let's help Batman."
This is my best friend's heir. You have to make this go away, basically. So May tells her father, well, I refuse because I have a conscious and professional ethics. So it's obvious he did this. I'm not going to defend him. There's nothing to defend.
Yeah, and she, like, sharply slides the book back to him, and I just love the way that she does it, because she does that and then crosses her arm back over her body, and, like, just visually, it makes her look like she knows that she's just better than him,
Which she
which
is.
obviously she is.
She is.
Yeah, like, she is, but just, like, visually, like, the sharpness of it is just I love the way that she did it.
I will say, film is good with props. She's a good actor with props. After May refuses the case, her father has no response to that because there is this is not defensible. So instead of defending himself, he segues right into openly threatening his only child's life by threatening directly. So May's father heavily hints at the fact that he knows May has a girlfriend now. So he's like, "Oh, you have something you care about? Interesting." And then he's like, "You shouldn't underestimate what I'm capable of, by the way." So like here he is just like threatening his child, which is super fucked.
Do you even care about her?
No, well, like his response to the Batman thing is like, "Well, that's my friend's only son." Which again, son to your point, because we come to find out with May, she's like, "I'm not a boy, so he hates that about me." So like here he is being like, "I can use you to help my best friend who has a son like live his best life by like threatening his daughter because he sees her as beneath him, which is but he has no problem using her in her brilliance. So that says a lot about May's dad. Fuckhead. Okay, but yeah, May is smart as fuck because like he's doing all this like subtext shit and she understands what he means. And so she's like, just leave out of this. Like she's the one that brings up He's like, I know what you're getting at. Just like fucking stop it. And then her father, again, is like, bitch, I have the power here and you know it. So he stands to leave. So he's like towering over May, right? Being like, I'm in charge, bitch. And says, maybe I will, maybe I won't. It depends on what you choose to do, May. Like, what a fucker, because, like, he's, like, victim blaming her immediately. He's like, "No matter what, it's your fault. You're the one
Yeah.
coercing her." Like, stop it. This is some, like, abusive language that he's using.
Yes, and that's all we know about him, so you can never convince me that this guy will change overnight.
No, that was ridiculous. That was the crime that GMMTV commits in the show, is his redemption arc, which is insane. Off screen.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And when he, like, starts walking away, May looks at him and, like, if looks could kill, man, he'd be
This is
dead, and I
pre-attempted
wish
murder.
I wish looks could kill.
May would be able to get herself off of all charges, though, let's be honest. But yeah, so he
Yes.
walks away, and then, like, May is left with the thought of being like, if I disobey him and something happens to it's now my fault, because I'm at the crossroads of, do I protect or do I serve justice and preserve my ethical integrity? And so when the dad walks away, the camera lingers on May for a bit, and, like, she's still in that very serious, stoic, like, she's like tit for tat situation with him, where she's like, I'm not gonna break, you're gonna break. And then once he leaves, that's when her mask falls off. And she looks emotional and scared, because she knows how serious the situation is. And she's clearly very worried about and what could happen to And as we were lingering in the scene, I also noticed something that this is, May can see right now. This is pre accident. There are candles everywhere that are lit right now. So I think that May didn't necessarily need all those candles to, like, navigate when she's blind. I think she has a Lexa complex and always liked candles.
I think that you're right because you could have, like, a couple candles to help you navigate. You don't need, like, all of them.
I mean, for navigating,
But,
sure,
like,
but, like, she has the same amount of candles lit now when she doesn't
yes.
need them to navigate.
She's like yeah, no, Lexa Complex.
I
I
think she
think
has a
that's
Lexa
great.
complex. They're everywhere.
Did we already explain the Lexa Complex to people in
Oh,
Pluto?
you could explain it.
Okay. So, in case you don't know what we mean by Lexa Complex, there's a show called The 100, and, I think she's a lesbian character
Definitely.
yeah, okay, named Lexa, and every time you see Lexa in her own spaces, there are a million candles, like, their candle budget, I swear they had to
So
have a
many.
fire department on set
It's
because
insane.
there were so many
So many
candles,
candles.
like, the entire screen was just candles
It
at
was
one
just
point.
candles. That would be just like, this
It
is
was
my reading room.
insane.
So many candles.
So that's what we mean by that. We do not mean what happens to Lexa. I will not say what happens to Lexa.
No.
You can feel free to watch it if you want your heart to break.
Alexa, you legend.
That's it. That's all I'll say. But she has
Anyway,
a candle
Lexa
complex.
complex just means you have a lot of unnecessary candles because you genuinely
Yes.
love candles. And I think May has a Lexa complex. They're not, it's like, in the 100, it's like there's not modern technology, so you need them to see, but there's so many that it's like, this is more than
There's
I
so
need
many,
to
like,
see. Yeah, exactly. So May has that
yeah.
going on, where it's like, this is not necessary at this stage. Like, when you're blind, sure, there's a function. Right now there isn't. You just love candles, let's be honest. So I had to bring that up. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, then from there we crossfade into 2023, where May, the nerd, is at home reading. And I hope this is for pleasure, because she deserves something that's fun. Okay. And I caught, when in the scene, I caught what she was reading. So the book she's reading is called The Shadow Man by Mary Gordon. And I looked into it because I never heard of this book. And it's a memoir about, quote, a daughter's search for her father. So I think May is working through her daddy issues in her free time. 'Cause her father's lost in a
You
way.
know what? She would be the person to work on herself in her free time, and I love that.
Or maybe she's looking for tips too. Like, what do I do when you my
Or
father's lost?
maybe she's just subconsciously picking it out and she doesn't realize it.
Which, her subconscious is working through her daddy issues. But yeah, that's what she's reading. And it tracks for May the character because she loves stories, but May's escape into stories is short lived because soon marches into the room. And is like, May, were you Batman's lawyer? And like, when she comes in, looks like horrified. And May's like, yeah, okay. So we have context as to like why May represented the inappropriately named Batman. Like why was he named Batman? This man was not. What the fuck? This was like projection of some like bullshit because he was not a vigilante. He was just an idiot. But anyway, so we just got the flashback of like why May was doing this, but it seems that like from 2022 to 2023, May did not breathe a word of this to and meaning that May didn't bring up the threats her dad was making towards She kept that this means that she kind of kept that from She's like, well, if I make this go away, doesn't need to know how fucked up my family is, I guess.
But, like, she's still being threatened, so she should probably know that, she's in danger.
Well, now she's being threatened because I think when we start, maybe she did know. Wait, I don't know. I guess the timeline is that May didn't. Okay, no. So the timeline is that May and the dad had the conversation. Dad makes the threats. May says nothing, and then gets the email.
Yeah.
And that's what ultimately coerces her to do the Batman trial. I think that's the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. But then doesn't know the deal May struck with her dad to keep safe from the threats to make them go away. I guess that conversation was like, May's like, I'll take care of it, and then this is how she does it, but she doesn't tell. So, like, again, not a great relationship, but these two are keeping secrets from each other. May is just really secretive. She kept secrets from both the twins when she was dating them, respectively.
Everyone has secrets when they're dating each other in this show.
Seriously, it's fucked. Well, mostly it comes from May, though, but true. I feel like Oom's an open book until she figures out who May's in love with, and then she's secretive because she's dealing with that, and it's like fuck. And then like does come clean though.
I'm sorry, Theora. I'll bring it up now. She never told her that she had a twin.
Well, I don't understand what the hell their conversations were like as a couple because, well, like at some point brings up the fact that she has a sister. It's like later in this episode, I think, where she's like, "Oh, I have a sister, but I don't want you to meet her because you're gonna fall in love with her," which something like that. But I mean, yeah, she didn't mention I'm a twin, but she does mention she has a sister too, May. So May knows that has a sister, but like they just never meet each other's family. It's weird that didn't bring May to. I guess it's weird that didn't bring May to meet her family, but I think is insecure the way that I's insecure, where she's like, well, if you meet my sister, you're gonna like her better. And I have this thing all to myself, and this person that loves me and just me. I want to keep it to it's a thing where it's like I want to keep this for myself for as long as possible before sharing it with the world, and which might break the little bubble we're in. I think that was and also
It's been so long.
Also, the flight attendant. So, like, how often is she home in Bangkok? How much time does she have really when she's home? You know what I mean? Who knows? But anyway, because it seems like was a flight attendant the entire time she's with May. Like, she just changes companies.
Yeah, I think so.
But her life's, like, her day is awful. Like, she explained it to I. Like, poor Anyway, that's why May's like, not here, I'm just gonna read. Meanwhile, like, probably has been up since 2 a.m. and like flying all over the world. And then she hears this news and she's like, son of a bitch. And then she goes and sees May. Anyway, so back to this scene. So like, fuck, May, you did this? Oh my God. And at first, May is like, when she gets the question, she's really dismissive and annoyed with because she's like, this is my job. Why are you coming at me? So it seems almost like they don't talk about their work, which I get. It's like work, like sometimes you just want to keep work at work. Like I get that. But I think May's frustration in this scene when she's talking to like, don't press me about my job, is less about them not sharing their lives. And it's more like May has self-loathing about taking this job. Because if you go back to the flashback of episode 4, where we saw May in the trial, of Ben's case, and that other lawyer, like Ben's lawyer, comes at her and they have the conversation, like it's really clear that like May did not want to do this. Like it went against her morals to take this case because she told her dad straight up, she's like, I have ethics. Why would I take this case? And when Ben's lawyer confronts her and he's like, "You're a good lawyer. Like, why are you taking I can't believe you took this case. Like, and you're doing what you're doing." Because he sees that she's getting Batman off the charges. And she says the line, "I'm always aware of what I'm doing." Like May did this because she knew it was the only way to protect Oom from her dad. Or like she felt like this was the only way she could protect Oom from her dad. And like it ate away at May to do it, but like to her, Oom meant more than like her own morals and the consequences thereof of doing this bad karma thing. She was like, but Oom. You know what I mean?
Which says a lot. Like, she really cares about her.
Well, yeah, she definitely does. Okay, so then back to this conversation. So Oom twists the knife by telling May she's upset because she knows Ben personally, which is new information, and that Ben's mother took her own life to try and make Ben eligible for the life insurance money. Now, we'll get into
Which is not
why
how it
that
works.
huh?
I said, which is not how that works, but okay.
Not how that works, which is like so she sacrifices herself for no reason because it doesn't work. But this was kind of weird, okay? Because like Oom is admitting she knows Ben. So May now knows that Oom knew Ben. So I wonder if going forward, she was like, does Oom's sister know Ben? That doesn't ever seem to be the case, but like if one sister knows them, wouldn't it reason that like the other sister might know the victim of this big case you did? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like May's smart. I feel like
Yeah.
she would have clocked that.
Yeah, it's just she's probably thinking about this a lot too, so probably.
But then like she seems surprised later when I is like involved with all these people. That's the weird part to me because I'm like, oh, you did know that
Mm.
Oom knew them. But who knows? Like maybe she thought there was a bigger separation between Oom and I because they don't seem close.
Well, because like, she never met I, so, like, maybe not everyone that knows will know the other person.
Right. But still, like this is a breadcrumb that like this incident is connected to like Oom's family in a way. But anyway, so okay, so what happened with Ben? So Ben, we know Ben's family was financially struggling before this accident. And then after the accident, Ben is disabled for life, which is confirmed in this conversation. So that comes with a bunch of medical, like serious medical bills. Okay, so they're already struggling, then this thing, unfortunate, horrible thing happens to Ben's family. And per May's father's instructions, May had to make sure that Batman paid little to no monetary compensation to Ben for the accident that he caused. So like Ben's family is super fucked basically. And May knew Ben's situation because when she was reading the docket with her dad, she was like, this person is crippled for life. So, like, she knew how bad this was for Ben. And also, when she was reading this docket, she must have known, like, got some indication of like what Ben's financial or social situation was like. So, like, May had all this information and still, and like, that's how much Oom means to her, which is sweet, but like, she really royally fucks over Ben's entire family by doing this.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like and obviously that weighed on her, but then to add Ben's mother's death on top of it, like when the camera cuts to May, like that's when she looks like, "Oh fuck, like I've done fucked up big time." Cuz she's like, "I didn't know this part." Like, "Oh shit." Like it's almost like her bad karma of like going through with the defending of Batman and getting him off on the charges, it like manifested in this horrific outcome, which is somebody's death. Because had May not taken this case, Batman would have lost because May's like the best lawyer in Bangkok, apparently. And Ben's mother would be alive. So, like, that was like the karmic balance of like her protecting Oom, which is crazy. And I like in this scene the way the lighting, the way they light up May basically like half of her face is in shadows and like the other half is like lit, and it's like very harsh contrasting lights because like yeah, May by taking this case is like stepping into the darkness to do it, but she's doing it for good, and so she's like kind of caught in between those two things and like grappling with that, like was it worth it? I still have but like this other person's dead now, like that's a lot.
That is a lot. Like, it's kind of like the trolley problem where it's like, do
Yes,
you
it
let
is.
it hit the group of people or like to save one person? Like, what if you know that one person? Like, it's just like, what does she do in this moment?
Well,
But
now
she
it's too
loves
late. It's
her.
already done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
it's
know.
done.
Like she chose, and she's like, I done chose wrong.
She chose, and then like more people started getting run over by the trolley that she didn't know were going to get run over by the trolley. So that is her philosophical dilemma, is like going deeper than the original problem she was presented with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now on top of that, knows, and like May never intended for to know about any of this, obviously. So here's May sitting there processing this outcome she didn't even anticipate. May, the strategist who sees 10 moves ahead of everybody, never predicted this. And as she's kind of processing this reality, says, "You're way more cold blooded than I thought." And what the fuck was this line? Okay, because like, yeah, no, this makes May look bad, obviously, but like, she says you're more cold blooded than I thought, meaning that was already thinking, oh, like May was shady and shit, or like cold hearted. So, like, this indicates to me that like something changed in their relationship from like 2022 to 2023 when they were like lovey dovey. And now here's being like, I was already thinking this about you, but it's worse than I thought. So I think that maybe this case, and when May took the case and started going down this path, like I think it ended up poisoning their relationship a bit because again, May kept her involvement, kept in the dark when it came to this case, but like clearly this case was eating up May in some level, like ethically, morally, and I wonder if that was poisoning their relationship a little bit. Like, yes, I understand that like May was not in love with the way she was in love with and like was trying to make it work no matter what. But I think this case was like maybe the tipping point where the rose colored glasses were coming off for a little bit, and didn't realize why. And then like here's like a breaking point, and like the ultimate breaking point is going to be in a second when she's like, "Oh, it's not me you're in love with anyway."
Yeah. I mean, for like I wonder if May was starting to change in that time too because
That's what I
she
mean.
yeah, like to throw yourself into this case, like she has to fully believe everything she's saying. So like now she's being like, "Oh no, he was in the right," or like I don't know how she argued it. I forget, but
She got him off on drunk driving. So then
that's
it
right.
wasn't his fault he was drunk driving. So it was a lesser punishment versus premeditated murder. And
Yeah.
so,
So
yeah, but like May had to come up with that strategy, have all these meetings with Batman, and she kept all of that from So I think the fact that she was doing this, like you said, and the secrecy, I think ended up poisoning her relationship with more than it was already like not perfect. But
yeah.
this is the tipping point when finds out. So then basically is like, "You're a lizard," and then storms out of there before May can respond. And May chases into the living room and then tells her the truth, that I just wanted to protect you like how you protected me.
Which oh my gosh, that line.
Woo!
Um but also when she's saying that line, her face is a little like there's not a lot of emotion on it, but May's right eyebrow raises slightly. And I just noticed I've been looking at her face a lot and just because she's so stone faced a lot in her scenes,
Yes.
especially with other people. And she raises her right eyebrow. Like whenever she's like being sincere or like just letting her feelings slightly take over too much,
Hmm.
but she's still not letting her walls down. So like this girl may be good at like keeping her composure, but her eyebrows do say more than what she lets on if you look at them.
Yeah, it's true. Well, because like, I mean, this is like the pure moment for May because she's telling like her ultimate truth here to which is like why I love you, basically. So she says this, and then Oom's like, what? She's like, Oom's confused because she's like, when did I, the real Oom, ever protect you? And so she doesn't, she's like trying to figure it out silently. And then May just is like, this is my opportunity to say my truth. I'm going to do it. So she takes Oom's hand and tells her how she fell in love at first sight with Oom, which is what she told I in the last episode, right? Only she gives her like the details where she's like, "Oh, you and I met in high school at the Bangkok Planetarium." And I think you're right, Caitlin, because I think I fucked this up. That they might have been like the science competition might have been some kind of field trip for Oom's class, which doesn't make sense why like all the delinquent kids were at the planetarium, but like maybe it was some
Yeah.
field trip in addition to the STEM competition. Anyway, so Oom's trying to process this, and oh my god, good job with the acting here because you can see Oom think through this and come to a not great conclusion. Okay, because she starts like looking off and like her breathing starts getting labored as she's putting it together. And then her eyes snap to May and she just looks pissed off and so hurt because she's putting it together that like this wasn't her. And like, okay. And then the fucked up part is that Oom's like, so wait a minute, you got into this shady lawsuit because I saved you once when you were kids. Like that's kind of like that's pretty powerful puppy love right there. And then also for she's like, what else was a lie in our like she'd have to be questioning their entire relationship because like it was based on a lie, like everything. Like is trying to grapple with that right now in the second when she's the only one that understands the actual truth of this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she didn't bargain. She's like, I didn't come. She's like, I was coming here to find out if my girlfriend was a shady lawyer, and then comes and finds out this. She's like, oh fuck, like,
She's like, "This is not what I wanted."
no, none of this is what I wanted.
But meanwhile, May is, like, just so happy that to share this moment that she,
I know.
like, holds in her heart with
Yes.
and her her little face, like, just falls when looks at her upset because, like, "What do you mean this like, what's happening? Like, this is something happy, this is something good."
I'm telling you how much you mean to me, and Oom's like, oh fuck. So, but like the acting, Noam Chomp's acting is so good. Like you just see all of that on Oom's. She doesn't say anything. This is why she's such a good actor. You just see it all on her face, the way she processes it, and then Oom just asks, "That's the Oom you like, isn't it?" And May nods. Yeah. May was like confused. She's like, "Yeah, yeah, like, duh."
I feel like May's thinking something like, yeah, that there's only one
Is there one Oom?
Apparently not."
Poor looks so heartbroken though, because imagine your and realizing your multiple year relationship was built on a lie, and the whole time, all that love in that relationship that felt was not for her. And this just goes to show you how alike and I are because that's how I always feels. Like the love she gets is always directed at not her. But like here's feeling that same thing where she's like, "Oh, that love was never meant for me. It was always meant for my sister." Like that's awful. I can't even imagine what that feels like. Like that's awful.
Yeah, like, to be questioning your entire, like, what, 3 years?
Yeah, yeah, however long their relationship was, like, yeah, years, and be like, "Wow, all of it was fake." Like, you didn't mean any like, did you mean anything you told me? Because this all you were in love with I the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is, like, what a crisis of self that is, you know? My poor Oom. Oh, look at her face, she
Yeah,
looks so
I do
sad.
feel
Poor Oom. Okay.
for him.
But so Oom's having all this realization here and doesn't tell May what's happening in her brain. And like honestly, maybe this is why May is so chill when I would just like do shit without saying anything. Cause like clearly did it too. She had experience of just doing stuff without telling her. So, because Oom is like having this realization, doesn't tell May anything, and then just like throws May's hands dramatically on the ground and then storms out to leave. And May's just like, what just happened? I just told you I love you. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, to your point, just like her sister, she leaves May hanging.
Yeah, I think that's why May is so cool with it with I, because like she had years of experience with Oom doing it. So that's something
Poor
Oom and
May
I have
though
in
in this
common.
point,
What?
like, just having to be, like, dealing with not knowing anything and be like, "She'll eventually come back and say something."
I'll find out later, I guess. Yeah. So Oom and I are more alike than they are not alike. Okay, so that was this whole scene with them, but like there's even more heartbreaking shit in here. So like, let's go back to the beginning of this conversation. Okay, when May first grabs not I, when she when he first grabs Oom's hand. Okay, when she does that, when like Oom storms out, they enter the living room and May grabs Oom's hand, the camera angle shifts, okay, so that it's looking at May holding Oom's hand, and then the background on the left is the staircase leading upstairs and then the piano, okay? Now, does this camera angle seem familiar at all to anybody? Because it is the exact same positioning and camera angle as the first time, quote, that I meets May in the first episode, like when they're reunited. It's the exact same camera angle where the staircase is behind them and then you have the piano and such, and they're in the middle. Same exact angle. Okay. Fuck you guys, because everything that's happening here, it makes it so much more heartbreaking and but powerful. And this is why I love the show. Okay, because we talked about the staircase in the first episode when we're breaking down like the choreography there. So I think that the path of the staircase is like symbolic of like fate, because their fate led them together for I and May, right? In the first episode, after that long journey of all the bullshit, like here we are. May's like, it's finally you, like, and I's like, I don't know what's happening, but here you are, because that's her destiny is May or whatever. Okay, so that's nice and happy. But for Oom and May, they're in the same position. And instead of their destiny bringing them together, it's fracturing them and breaking them apart, right? Because if you look, like they're at arm's length, literally, whereas I and May literally come into each other's space. And that's when May's like, I'm just going to kiss you because I got no cards left. So literally coming together, going apart, right? But there's more going on here. So then there's the wardrobe, the things that they're wearing. So I and May, it's a coming together moment, right? And if you remember what they were wearing in the first episode, I was wearing, well, Oom's outfit, but she's wearing this like cream colored two-piece pantsuit dealie with the vest, right? And then May was also wearing a cream colored like two-piece skirt and sleeveless top dealie. So they're matching in a way. And this was not on purpose. May didn't know this was going to happen. They're wearing the same color, right? Because this is a harmony moment for the two of them. Whereas Oom and May are going to fracture. So they're wearing opposite colors, right? Whereas May's all in black. And then Oom is in like a gray color. So it's like a light and dark, because they're not on the same page. They're about to go separate ways forever. So their wardrobe is hinting at that. Also in the scenes, the lighting of the room. In I and May's scene, it's warm Ioun light, right? Which is like happy, hopeful kind of lighting, comforting lighting, versus the May and Oom scene. It's gray, it's dark. It is not happy. It is not hopeful. It is kind of like this is an end kind of lighting. So they even lit the scenes differently. Even though we're in the same room, same positioning, different lighting. Then we get into the hairstyle choices. And this is something I haven't brought up before, but like hair can also symbolize stuff about characters. So when a character, like the best example of this is in Killing Eve, if you've ever seen that show, because they use hair to demonstrate with Eve specifically what kind of mindset she's in. So anytime Eve, like there's a thing where it's like let your hair down. It just means like be yourself, like be your unabashed self. And when you put your hair up, you're like hiding something, holding secrets. And so that is a thing in media, and it's on display here a little bit. So we'll start with the I and May scene. So in the I and May scene, May's hair's all down because she's got nothing to lose. She's here. I is here. She's gonna go get I. She's gonna put her cards on the table. She's gonna kiss I. She's not fucking with her feelings. She's being honest about it. Versus I, when I shows up as she has her hair up in a bun because she's got all the secrets. She's pretending to be in this scene, so she's being more secretive. Versus May isn't. Versus in the May and scene, May's hair's up because she was the one being secretive about the Batman case and all that kind of stuff. And is learning that in this scene. Also, like in this scene, May doesn't know the truth of like who she's really in love with, and learns the truth. So Oom's hair is down. Came in all being truthful with her emotions about the Batman case, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, my dog is exploring. What are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, I just love all the that's why I love this show. It's just this struck me and I was like, damn, this is such a good parallel but opposite scene and moment. And they did all this shit that like where are their awards for this show is what I'm saying. Like this is so good.
Yes.
Where
Oh my
are
gosh.
they?
No, it was a great catch for all of this because I didn't even think to like look at the hair too, but everything you make makes perfect sense because it exactly is the opposite
Mhm.
down to the coloring.
That everything was opposite. Like this was so good. Like holy shit. I love that they really use this location and just the way they compose their scenes with like the background stuff. It's just so artistic and really like you don't realize it, but like I just as somebody who took photography for many years, like I just love the way they just have all your eyes are just following all these lines and the way they compose their scenes and like this was brilliant. So I love this. I love this parallel but opposite stuff. It's great. Good job. All right. All right. So from that scene, so basically this was they didn't like break up. Like nobody said I break up with you. That needs to be said. It was just came to the realization that May's in love with I and then like storming out of there, leaving May being like, what the fuck? But then also like May's probably like to your point, she'll tell me eventually why she's doing this. She's not gonna tell me now. So she's like, I guess whatever. Then we flash back I guess flash forward, so we're still in the past but we're flashing forward a little bit to the night of May's assault. So we're getting the timeline that like found out the truth about I before May is blinded, so that's the significance here. And then we get the
Mhm.
sequence of her assault, and there's not a lot that's new other than we see the assailant a lot more clearly. Like we could hear Kasul's voice a lot clearer in this scene, and we see his face. So we know for sure it's Kasul. And then I had a new thought when I was watching this about when she's in danger, why May calls I mean, obviously she called the cops and then she's like, And I think that like maybe this is like she's panicked and not thinking, and I think maybe her instinct was to call quote because quote saved her life the last time she was in danger, and so maybe that's why she's like will save me, when the tragedy is that it's not the you were looking for. You needed to call I, not and so this was destined to fail no matter what. So I think this is just a literary thing of like this was going to fail no matter what, because May doesn't know that this is not the person that's going to save her, because this wasn't the person that saved her to begin with. Okay. And then so then also in this scene we get May trying to flee Kasul, so this is new. And she tries to run away in heels, which shockingly doesn't work.
And we get multiple shots of these heels, so just to like make sure you know, and you can't miss that she's wearing heels.
No.
But there's a great use of the handheld shots when she's running away because it really
Yeah.
does create that urgency and fear as viewers, like watching it.
Yeah, this whole thing is very dynamic the way it was shot, which is valid because like emotions are running high for May, obviously, and also Kasul, because like it comes very clear that he's all driven by rage right now and she's got fear, so it's very like dynamic.
Yeah, and they play at the angles too, like low
Yeah,
and high, and just you're just all over the place
correct.
trying to. You're disoriented.
Yeah, because like this is mostly May's point of view, and she's disoriented, but also like you get some of that like high emotional stuff from Kasol also, because we do focus on him a little bit. Okay, and then
Mhm.
something else I kind like became very apparent to me during this whole ordeal. Now that we're getting the extended version of it, is that when it comes to Kasul, he had multiple opportunities to like stop and just let this go. Like, yeah, he shook her up, he scared her, he caused damage to her car. Like, he could have just left it at that, but no, he decides that when she starts running to get on his bike and chase after her and like physically assault her. So like he could have stopped at any point, but he doesn't. He sees this all the way through. Like that's how blinded by his emotions that he is. And then in this conversation, he has a conversation with her once he gets off the bike and starts threatening her with the plank of wood or whatever. And we learn that his motivation is not just Ben, it's when his mom died. That was the tipping point. And we saw that like in flashbacks that Ben's mom was like surrogate mom to I's little group of hooligans. So it's almost like Kasul lost a mom, right? And Ben never got justice in court for this thing that was done to him. And Ben's disabled for life. And so Kasul kind of takes it upon himself to go deliver the justice that was never delivered to Ben and his family. And he's doing that through violence, which is the only leverage he has as this like poor guy with no, he can't do like like May's dad and be like, I'm gonna stick my lawyer on you or whatever. He can't do that. So all he can do is violence. And so May hears this from him that Kasul is linked to Ben and Ben's mom because he says that's why he's doing this. And like again, like May is getting all these crumbs of like who is connected to Ben and how it could lead back. And like at minimum, this leads back to and she doesn't put that together because said she knew Ben, and then the attacker is being like, I also know Ben. So May doesn't put it together that knows the attacker. But I think that like in this moment, she's so panicked that I don't know that that really registers with her like it normally would if she was just having a calm conversation.
Yeah, there's just too much going on right now, and,
Yeah.
like, and the aftermath that
Yeah, that
she's
she's
just not
blind,
thinking.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But I think
there's
that,
too much to
like,
deal with.
yeah, I think that normally, under normal circumstances, May would have put this together. But I think that, yeah, too much happens too quickly, and she's traumatized by both of these, like this event and the consequence of this event that she doesn't put together. But she could have, that is connected to the attacker. And then ultimately that could have led back to but like, yeah, it doesn't. Also, like, I think that part of May is like, this was my karma. And so she kind of like feels like she needs to suffer because of the role she played in Ben's case and the death of his mom. So I think she does let it go in a way and does because like later Kasul's like, you never came after me. I thought you would. Because yeah, she could have put it together. But I think part of it is like she's like, I feel like I have to do my penance for this. And then it only comes up when she's like, wait, eyes attack like, wait, this could damage my relationship with That's the only reason she goes after it later. Otherwise, I think she was gonna let it go. But the breadcrumbs were there for her to figure it out, is my point, and this May chooses not to. Okay, so back to the scene where she's with Kasul. So then they start fighting, like getting the brawl. And like kudos to May, who like does have some fight instincts where she like throws her heels at him. Like she tries doing everything she can to like get him to like leave her alone. So like kudos to May. But unfortunately, like Kasul's a big dude and he's got a weapon. And so he like unfortunately manages to get a hold of her and she's fighting him back. And then in the heat of the moment, he like swings the plank and it hits her in the back of the head. And she hits the ground hard, face first on that concrete and does not move. And Kasul's like watching all this and he sees this happen and then takes the helmet off. And if you look at him, he looks panicked and remorseful. Like he doesn't smile. He's not like, yeah, serves you right, bitch. Like he looks like, oh my God, I didn't mean for this to happen. But then he doesn't stay to help her. He doesn't call 911. He just gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah, well, first of all, he's terrified because he's not a person that, like, could get out of this, like, he would just
No.
be in he would be the punishment that Batman would should have gotten,
Yes. Like
and
10 times worse though, because like May's a lawyer who obviously can manipulate the law
yeah.
and do whatever she wants, like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least he does have the decency to look remorseful
Yeah.
because and, like, because he does feel bad about this, and, like, no matter how you try to justify it, like, this was a horrible thing to do, and like you
Totally.
said, there was multiple times for him to stop and be like, "Okay, that's enough," but then he just saw what happens when he takes it too far, and, like, you don't know you can't tell there's a fine line between it going too far. I mean, you shouldn't have done any of this, first of all, but, like, the line between scaring her and then hurting her terribly. And, like, this isn't justice like he was trying to serve. Like, it's revenge, and revenge is a vicious cycle, and it just keeps coming around. So, yeah, buddy. But at least he wasn't like, "Yeah, serves you right," because that would have been terrible and unforgivable for a character trait.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, I empathize with why he was doing this because, Ben didn't get Ben's fucked forever, and then his mom's dead, who was trying to help Ben, and then it ultimately failed, like said. And so, and he's like, the reason it happened is because his fucking lawyer. I mean, it's Batman's the problem. You should really get on for Batman. But like, here we are
Yeah,
going after the lawyer
seriously.
who is doing her job. As horrible as it was, May was doing her job. So, but yeah, like I understand like why he did it, but it goes to show you that like the vengeance he was seeking, like it's like a momentary satisfaction, and then like that's it. Ultimately, it doesn't change the fact that Ben is disabled for life. Ben has bills, and now here's another body we just added to the body count. And so it just goes to show you with Kasul, like he's not a inherently evil person like May's father. He's not evil. Like he was just like really upset about the situation. And then the minute it got real, he is like, oh shit. Like I didn't really mean to do this. Like, it just happened. Kind of, anyway. So like him being remorseful is important because we're gonna come around to the conclusion of like when Kasul and May finally confront each other, and like you see that he's remorseful, she's remorseful, and it's like, they can deal with it, which is a good
Mhm,
thing. Okay. So after the end of the assault, basically we crossfade to May's recovery in the hospital room. Is after she learns that she's blind, because we already got that scene. And May's just ugly crying because she's living in the situation and it's fucked, right? And if you saw in the last scenes, anytime anybody came into that room, she's always like, Oom. Well, finally, we get to the moment where Oom actually comes to see her in the hospital. And so Oom enters the room. And Oom is giving off Ice Queen energy when she enters this fucking room.
but boy, does she look good doing it.
She sure does. Oom, how are you single at the end of this? That's a crime.
Seriously.
Seriously. So Oom approaches the bed where May is laying down. And she doesn't say anything because just like her sister, why explain things? But May can hear the heels clicking because she's got her heels on. And at first, May kind of shrinks away and gets smaller because I think she's having PTSD from when the terrible twosome and Ploy came in with their clacking in that room. And she's like, oh, fuck, they're back to yell at me. It's
Oh,
funny.
definitely. No, she's because it's terrifying. Like, who's
Yes.
coming into this room now?
Right. And nobody announces themselves. Be like, I'm entering your room, May, which would be nice for the blind person to know. But so Oom just comes in, Ice Queen Oom, and she's like silently watching May for a minute. And then when no one yells at her, May realizes her terrible friends aren't here, and neither is Ton because he doesn't have clicking heels. So then she's like, Oom, is it finally Oom? And now I have to say, we're gonna get this scene later from Oom's point of view, which is why everybody deserves an award. So we get that scene. But right now we're getting May's point of view of the scene, and we're just gonna stick with that for now. So May has been waiting for Oom. It's established that May has been waiting for Oom to show up to this bed, and now here she is. Okay, so Oom clearly took her sweet time, according to May, took her sweet time coming to this room to see her. Despite the distressed phone call that she gets from May, being like, "Help me, help me, help me," and then she's in the hospital. And Oom took a while to come to the hospital, so that's not a good sign. And but May's really just desperate for Oom to be here, right? And so she's just freaking out and like swiping her arms everywhere. And Oom is standing far enough away that May can't reach her yet. And she's just like watching May freak out for a minute.
This is so painful to watch because
Yeah.
all she wants is to be there with her by her side, and she doesn't even realize that even if this is which it is, it's just gonna make it more painful for her, and she doesn't actually want by her side.
No.
But also, May right now, like, still just adjusting to being blind.
Yes.
There is now another random person in her room who is not saying anything. And, like, yeah, she's hoping it's but, like, it literally could be anybody. It could be her attacker.
Who just wore heels to throw her off. Yeah, I know it could
Yeah,
literally be anyone.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's fine.
anybody.
Okay, so then we cut back to and because I think this is May's memory and how she's kind of thinking this went down because she didn't see She can only just like concoct in her brain. And so in the scene while May is doing the swiping is just expressionless and just watching. So it's almost like because remember, hasn't done this before. Every time we see has emotions. Is very free with her emotions. The person who is not free with their emotions, who is more stone faced and expressionless, is May. Because May was doing it when they were looking at the computer. Anytime she's hiding shit, she's very stone faced. So it's almost like turns into May in this scene a little bit.
That's a good point.
And the read of is that she looks annoyed while May is crying out for her repeatedly. And it's like, damn, like who's the cold blooded one here?
That's fair, but I think watching May call out for her and be, like, being so upset is getting to a
Oh,
bit
yeah, for
because,
sure.
she does look away after a few seconds, like, because it's as if it's, like, becoming too much for her because, I mean, like, part of her still loves her and is, like, wants to be that person that May really wants, so she wants to be there to comfort her, but it's like she's trying to just regroup herself and, like, keep herself focused on what she came to do and be like, "No, don't fall into the trap that is the past and, like, just focus on what you came here to do," even though she's just adjusting to being blind, but anyway, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and, like, that to your everything you just said is very apparent when we get point of view. It's subtle here, which is good, but it's yeah, but from May's point of view, she's like, "What the fuck, Like, just looks so expressionless and, like, she's just, like, letting this go on. But you're right, when we get to point of view, all of that is valid. So then after a solid 5 seconds of this, finally relents and then grabs May's arm. Still doesn't say anything. She just grabs May's arm. And then eventually he's like, "It's me, a boom."
Yeah, the way that she grabs, uh, May's arm, like, face looks like she's just trying to stop May from potentially hurting herself, but she doesn't really want the direct contact with her.
Yeah. No, she doesn't. And
She's like,
like,
"You need to stop falling."
yeah. And then May just like hangs on like a scared child and starts sobbing even harder and is trying so like weakly to pull. Like you watch her like pulling arm and hand closer to her. Like it's so heartbreaking to watch this. And film, I don't know what you went through when you were doing the show, but like she sounds so hurt. Like she sounds like she's in physical pain when she's crying in the scene. Wherever she is mentally and emotionally, it's not a good place wherever she's at right now. It just sounds like she's in actual agony.
Are you
Like
okay?
oh my god, like, she's such a powerful crier, it's insane, like, it hurts to watch her do these scenes, like, "Thank you for your service, ma'am, I hope you got a lot of rest after these scenes." I think they had moments when they were filming this when, like in these hospital scenes where she was doing this stuff where, like, Namtan was there and was like, "Come and hug her," after the scenes because like, this
That's
had
what
to
happened
hurt.
in 11.
You
Yeah.
know, I know 11's a whole other story, but
Yeah.
like even in these hospital scenes, it was like the other actors are like, We know what you're going through," and oh, just she just makes you feel when she's in pain. Like it's just she's very powerful when it comes to this. I hope you get to rest after this. This seemed awful. Like, god damn it, girl. It's just like I have visceral reactions when she does her crying scenes like this. It's just it hurts. Okay. So now we're at the point where like we know it's we have physical contact. So then Oom does this thing where she like squares her body up against the bed. Okay. And it almost looks like a fighting stance. So she's taking this aggressive fighting stance, right? So not good for May. And then tells May very emotionlessly, yes, I am a boom, but I am not the one you love. And then May gets quiet. Like she starts sobbing or stops the sobbing and is trying to process what the fuck just said. Because of all the things for to say when she finally showed up, May was not expecting this.
I mean, what do you expect
I
anyway?
don't know.
Uh, it's like looking at her, it's like a part of her is relieved to like finally hear Oom's voice. Like, oh my god, this is Oom.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
when Oom says, "But I'm not the one you love," like we get a shot of May, and she just looks so defeated and exhausted. Like she has no mental energy to even figure out what means by this because she's like, "This has just been too much. What the hell? Stop speaking in riddles. What do you mean?"
But also like think about May. She's like last time she saw was the scene we saw where was like, "Is that the you're in love with?" and just walked away and then May's like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, yeah, it was you, obviously, because didn't tell her. I have a sister, didn't say it was a twin sister, and then left. So like May could never have put that together. And then calls but was probably ghosting her for a while. Finally gets a hold of shows up and I was like, "You don't love me." Like what? Like May never like she's May's like, "What do you mean? I did all this shit for you. I'm blind because I was trying to help you." And then it was like, "Yeah, it wasn't me, girl." Like that's so fucked.
It's way too much to process.
But continues and like she's like, "Yeah, you're not in love with this Aboom. You're in love with I Un." Who May doesn't know who the fuck that is, and there's a dramatic pause, and it cuts to May, and it's so funny because May is like, "That literally means nothing to me. What are you saying?"
She's like, "Who is this that you speak
Right.
of?"
Fucking cryptic twins. And then like my twin sister. So finally, that makes more sense. But again, it cuts to May, who still doesn't understand what the fuck is happening. And like, she just has this one dramatic, she's like stone. And then just one dramatic tear that's going down her cheek when she's just like, what? Like what? I don't know. Like, what went through your mind the first time you watched this scene? This scene is a lot.
That's a lot. That's a big question.
I know.
Um, I'm pretty sure that because we watched this together for the first time. So I think that I just thought that was a terrible person
Yeah.
who was just making things worse for May when like she literally just dealing with being blind.
I know.
Like this is way too much for her to handle right now. And like at this point, is still a mystery to us because we have no idea who the hell this girl is. Like what their relationship was. We still don't know what their relationship was. Um like all signs just pointed to being selfish, mean, and complete opposite of I. So it didn't make look any better.
Yeah, no, the first time I watched this scene, because again, we're watching it from May's point of view. So I was very empathetic towards May because she clearly desperately wanted to be there. And like again, sequentially, you're like, she was in danger. She called She doesn't understand the Ioun stuff at all. And then the way acts in this scene, it's almost like she wants to hurt May. Like it seemed like Oom was trying to hurt May because like why would you the first time you're seeing May, regardless of what went down with you two, the first time you're seeing this person you spent years of your life with and she's blind and is a mess right now and upset before Oom even says anything, May's crying. Like she's clearly not okay. And then to be like you don't love me. You love my sister. You know what I mean? To like attack her with that information now seemed like she was trying to hurt May because if Oom really in my mind I'm like if Oom really loved May and like cared about her, she would like wait to tell her that a little bit because like the girl just found out she's blind and she's a mess. Like why would you add this on top of that right now when she's not okay? It just seemed like bad timing to me and almost like because we don't know and Oom is so cold-blooded in this scene, it's almost like she was trying to hurt May on purpose. And I was like, this is so fucked that you're doing this now, Like we get Oom's point of view later
Yeah.
and it clears it up. But like that's what that my first impression was like, wow, Oom's being malicious in the scene.
Yeah. Did not paint her in a good picture at all.
No. Yeah, it was just really bad. Anyway, so question for you guys. What did you think of the first time you saw this scene between and May? Like the first time you saw it, before you get the stuff later. Like, what did you think of the scene?
It's a good question. I think we need to start doing a Theora's challenge at the end because Theora's got all the questions for you.
I just want to know what people thought because that's what makes this show fun. Is then when you get now I'm doing this from Oom's point of view. It's a whole different story when you actually see the scene because like this is just May remembering it and May didn't see what Oom was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how May felt. She's like, I grabbed desperately and there was no one there. And then like you get and Oom's like, I held myself back because of XYZ. Like, yeah, it's just this show is so good. Anyway, we'll get to later. But damn, poor May. Okay, so then we get out of the flashbacks finally and we cut back to present moment. Um After we get the very what's fucked up is we get I'm sorry, the editors are mean. We get May crying and being like, I don't love and then the happy theme song plays, which is so
Which
fucked.
I have to say that every time I
Oh
watch
my
this, I'm like,
god.
wow, this is the latest a theme song has ever played. This is 9 minutes before the theme
Yeah.
song.
Oh my god.
And you almost forget that you didn't see it. And then it comes on, you're like, oh yeah, that exists.
It's so fucked. But yeah, they're
It
like, we
comes
got
out of
no place else to
nowhere.
put this. They put it there. Anyway, so that was hilarious. And it breaks me out of it every time because I'm like, now is not the time for the song,
Yeah.
guys. This like happy, like fucking song. Anyway. So then we go through the theme song and then we end up in the present day and we have May is outside overlooking basically like the landscape from their mansion or whatever their hotel is. And she's painting.
Okay. My question is, does May always travel with her easel and paints? Because that was something that's really random to bring with you.
Yeah, no, that's a valid question because she didn't know. Her plan was to have sex with I, and like why would she maybe she wanted to paint I afterwards.
Yeah.
Like paint like one of your French girls, like she's gonna pull a Titanic. Like, I don't know. Like, is that part of May's wooing I? She was gonna paint for her? Because I is into all the artsy shit that May does. So like, I don't know. You're right. Why did she just have this on hand first thing in the morning? There's your other question. Why did May does May just travel easel and paint when she travels? Just you never know when the inspiration's gonna hit, which is true. I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like she was gonna paint I like one of her French girls. That's my fan fiction. Okay. Speaking of I, so drunk ass I finally wakes up in the afternoon. That's how drunk she was, and goes and joins May. Maybe you know what? Maybe I got up so late that May was like, "I'm bored," and then she's like, "Ton, go get me an easel and some paint," and he had to like do it. And by the time she's done in the afternoon, I wakes up. So I approaches May, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I got up so late. I was dead drunk last night." Which, like, again, is just a reflection of how upset I was about the whole "you're not in love with me" actually thing, even though she is. So May reassures I that she knows everything, but she's the one that gave I a sponge bath when she was dead drunk. And I assume May was trying to be cheeky with this, being like, haha, I got to touch your skin. But I does not take the bait because she's not in a playful, flirty mood because in her mind, it's over. Like it's all over. It was never me. And so she's just like, yeah, no, whatever. So instead of like flirting with May, she just like fixates on fixing the loose strands of hair in May's face because that's less scary than the emotions, I guess. So, was this avoidance of the emotions or her gentlewomanly behavior? Who knows? I think it's more she's being a gentlewoman in this scene. So then here's I, and then she finally like takes in what May is doing, and she's very sweetly like in awe that May can paint as well, and tells May like you're amazing. Like look at all these things that you can do. Like this is cool. And just watching I marvel at May's painting, it's really obvious that she's being sincere. Like she really does think the world of May and like everything May does, she's like, wow, this is all amazing, all these things that you can do. And to emphasize that, the warm Ioun music is playing in the background. So I think that like May's artistic side gives I fuzzy feelings because like I is a writer, so it makes sense that like she's like, "Oh, you also have an artistic side just like me." Like I love that about you.
I feel like this is I, like, falling more in love with May with 'cause this is just something else that she's learning new about her, and everything that she learns about her, she just, like, grasps onto, and it's like, I wanna know everything, every little detail, and it's just making it more painful for her because
Yeah.
she's like, "This is not for me." She loves my sister, but I love her, and everything she does, everything she like, everything I learn about her, it just makes me wanna know even more. Like, what else don't I know about her?
Yeah, and the shitty part for I is like she's like May's fixated on potentially as the first love, and was like, "Go break up with her." You know what I mean? I think it pisses off I that like is gonna throw May away, and
Yeah.
she's like, "This woman is perfect. Like, what the hell, Poor Trust me, I that was not intention. Did not want to do that. Okay, anyway, back to the painting scene. Um, So May instructs I to close her eyes, which she does. And then May guides I's hand to the painted canvas so that I can explore the painting through touch. And so basically May is essentially letting I or showing I how to experience the world the way she does. And I immediately gets it where she comments that like, "Oh, the paint is textured." Which yeah, for a blind person, like that's how they would kind of like feel around the canvas, right? And so May says once you touch them, you know their form, right? Because then you can see what I was painting. Oh, air quotes, see what I was painting by like feeling what I was painting, essentially. And May goes on to
That
explain.
line
Sorry, go ahead.
that line just, like, I keep thinking back to it, and it's like I feel like she's talking about May no, I and as well, because she's like,
Yeah,
"I can touch you, but and I know that something was wrong." And but as soon as, like, she was able to feel I in that moment that she met her again, like, she knew that this is who she loved. So I love that line.
yeah. I there's definitely an underlayer, a subtext there because this is May.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I think this is a yeah. I think I agree with that. Okay, so then May goes to explain to I that the paint she's using were designed for visually impaired people, which is really cool. So the way the paint goes is it's textured paint, which makes sense. And then also each color has a scent that's linked that corresponds to the specific color. So May knows what color she's using as she paints the canvas, which is really fucking cool that that
Yeah, I
exists.
never even thought that of something like this, and it just
Yeah.
shows, like, that it's not something we think about, but something that's so necessary that it's such a unique way to figure out how to make paint adaptable.
Yeah, and, like, that's something I learned by watching this show that I thought was really like, again, like, this is not from the book, this is just in the show, and so I like that GMMTV put things in like this in here to be like, "Oh, this is how visually impaired people navigate the world." this is how they do art. This is just like not like being lectury about it, but just like putting this in here through May and in the scene. Like I learned something, which I
Yeah.
liked about Pluto the series specifically. Okay, but what I love is I love that May tells her this. She's like, "Oh, they're scented," and then I get startled and she like excited. She's like, "Ooh, what? Really?" And then like grabs them and starts smelling them all. It was so fucking funny the way she does this, like
Yeah.
an excited kid. And I love the scene of I just like smelling all the paints because to me, I will personally never be tired of watching I marvel at May's world and May's experience because I just throws herself into it instead of being like, oh, that's weird or whatever. Like she just throws herself in it. It's like, ooh, this is how you experience the world. That's so cool, May. Like I is so like earnest in experiencing and understanding how May creates art. Like it's so adorable and sweet to watch her just like because I's been a sad puppy, and in this scene, she's a happy puppy, and it's just nice to see her just like I don't know
Yeah.
experience this with May. It's really cute.
She loses herself in the moments that she gets to just experience what May experiences.
Yeah, because it's just I very earnestly wanting to be in that moment with May. It's very cute. There's no like agenda or anything. Okay, so then I asks May, "What are you painting?" And May somberly replies, "Some feeling I can't describe with words." Okay. So let's get into what I think May is painting because I was like totally valid, right? Because like May is having this huge feeling that like it's over between her and I because of what happened last night, or she doesn't understand what's happening, but she's having a big feeling about it because she's been here with Oom. Remember when Oom walked away and she didn't know what was going on for a while, so she's having a really, and then Oom was like, "This is over," basically. Well, not really, but basically, this is over. I think May is back in that mindset. I think that's why we got all those flashbacks. So she's painting this thing, and I was looking at the painting and trying to figure out like what exactly was she painting. So in the canvas, okay, there's three main colors. There's yellow, orange, and red, which is orange is a mixture of yellow and red, and then like a black navy color. The dominant color on her canvas is orange, followed by red, then yellow. And then near the center, like on the right hand side, but kind of in the center, there and near the bottom, there's two like dark smears which look like black or navy. I can't tell from the distance. So I think like if putting those colors together, it looks like a sunset to me. So I'm gonna go with that she's painting a sunset. And I think that makes sense if you think about like she's saying I'm having this feeling I can't describe. So she paints this sunset. And so sunsets can symbolize like closure because it's like the end of the day. If it's a sunset, I'm going with sunset, not sunrise. Could be a sunrise, but I think this is a sunset based on all the things we just saw. So closure or a transition from a period of light, which could be hope, to a period of darkness, which is like despair. So I think that May is painting the sunset because she feels this despair that she can never truly make I hers in the way she wants to, and she's losing hope. Like she feels like this is ending the way things ended with I and with right? Why it's why we got those scenes.
Mhm.
And she can't describe it, so she paints it.
I wonder if I like notices that it's kind of reminiscent of a sunset because later she's like, "Let's go see the sunset."
I think yeah, maybe. Or maybe May is the one that's like, can we watch the sunset? I don't know. Either way, they do go. All right, they go watch the sunset. Yeah, because I think this comes back narratively. Okay, so May can't. Right, May is telling her that she can't put her feelings into words, and then she takes I's hand and puts it in the center of her chest and says, "Can you feel it?" And so what happened last night is the root of May's despair, obviously. And all these feelings May is having are rooted in her feelings for I. And May wants to express these feelings, but feels like she can't verbalize it. So I think she's hoping I is going to feel some part of this, of what she's feeling through the art and or her erratic heartbeat or whatever the hell's going on here. So once she has her hands on May's chest, she starts staring at May intently, like she's trying to decipher what the hell May's talking about. May, the queen of subtext. And it's like, and I think I might not fully understand what May feels, but she knows how she feels because then she thinks back to the moment they had in the bathroom where I asked May, "Why do you love me?" And then May tells her, "It's because you're my first love, love at first sight." Because I think that that's a feeling I is having that she can't verbalize, right? A big feeling she does not know how to describe. And it's a feeling of despair, a feeling of closure for I, where she's like, "You're not going to love me no matter what. You love or whatever." And I think that that breaks the spell for I because then she's like, "Let's go back to Bangkok." Like she lets go and she's like, "No, we gotta leave. This is ending. This is over. We gotta go back." And I, when she does that, like moves out, completely out of May's space because before she was like closer to her. And judging by the look on her face, I think I is now feeling something also she can't quite put into words. And I'm going to describe this as like a sunset feeling because I think that she's also losing hope that she's going to have May the way she wants her. And it's the same feeling May's having where she's like, I can't have I the way I want her. So it's like, it's almost like this whatever this thing is coming to an end and they both kind of feel that and it's this big dreadful feeling they can't quite explain but they're both feeling it. And so while I sitting there with her feelings, May looks expressionless and her hand is still kind of hovering towards her heart after I lets go and then like it's so sad. She slowly starts putting her hand down and to me it's like she's also having the sunset feeling. And so it would appear even though the truth is not cleared up between them emotionally, they are on the same page right now, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they
Yeah.
both just guys, you both look so sad, and I don't want you to be sad.
I know.
All right. Well, with that, we'd have to take a break to give some shout outs to our chaos crew over on Patreon.
Woo!
Woo! Come on, there we go.
Yay!
So our Chaos Crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Amix Monzone underscore multi, Ariel W, Danny, Duxie, Erica LC, Here for It, Jasmine O, Jill L, Cassie M, Leona, Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, Natalia, Pooja S, Regina B, and Worjapachin.
Woo!
I paused way too. I was doing it with one breath and I paused too much in the beginning.
Damn.
Anyway. And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are Amy, Isla, and Izzy N. Thank you so much
Yay!
for all of
Thank
your
you.
support. And thank you to everyone who's listening and watching this right now. We really appreciate you. It's just, it really means a lot just by listening and watching. Not everyone can be a Patreon member, and that's okay.
It
We
is.
totally understand. If you are able to and want to check out Patreon, we have so much content going out over there. It's just there's so much, but it's okay if you can't. Go join our Discord so you can talk to us and other queer media lovers about Pluto, Thai girl love, queer media in general. Show your fan art. We have some of that
Yeah,
going on over there right now, and
we
that's
do.
really cool. And yeah, so join the community. Join us and everybody else. It's a great time.
Make some friends.
All right, back to Pluto. And back in the hotel room, Tan is helping May pack up her easel, while a sad little eye tells May that she is going to take the bags to the car. poor, poor eye.
Or I.
Meanwhile, Tan notices that the easel is broken. So I hope that he didn't have to go out and get her this easel and paints this morning because the easel's already broken.
Well, like, how did it break? Like, what happened? It was functioning just fine when we saw it. Was who broke it? Did May?
I
Did May
I
like
feel like
smash it? And he's like, "What happened, May?" Because she was pissed off because
I
she's her sunset
I wonder
feelings.
if I was, like, helping her bring it in and she was just so sad that she was just dragging it along, and
I feel like I wouldn't fuck with May's shit. I think
that's
May
true.
would have to have been the one that fucked with it. And he's like, "Why is this shattered?" And May just like smashing it and the because she's upset. That's my headcanon.
It's fair.
No
Either
one's
way,
happy in this
Tan
scene.
is true. Tan offers to have it fixed and sent to her house for her.
And as he's talking, May is like low key not listening to him at all because she's too distracted by the whole I loves me, she loves me not situation because she's clearly not listening to him.
No. No. Do we don't we all have that point at one point when Tan's talking that we just don't listen to him?
Oh, yeah, a lot. We are
Yeah.
always May. Poor Ton.
May says thank you and then asks if he can do another favor for her. And this is one of my favorite parts because Tan's like, "We are way past you asking me to do things. Just tell me what you want and I'll do it."
Seriously. Why
Like,
are we
let's be
playing?
real. Like
Seriously.
at this point, your wish is my command. And May asked him to figure out what happened to I last night because what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Like she wants to know who she talked to and why she is acting differently. I mean, you could try asking her, May, but you know what? She probably wouldn't tell you anyway. So,
No.
yeah.
No. I think Ton is where you're at because he rolls his eyes, like he openly rolls his eyes this time and does not look amused by this request. He's like, I just want to go home and relax. Now I gotta be a detective.
I wonder if he's like, will this girl ever stop asking me to do things?
Seriously.
She really does
Seriously.
always have a request for him.
She does.
She's high maintenance when it
She
comes to
is,
him.
from his point of view. Yeah. You're not
Okay,
wrong.
so then we're on the way back to Bangkok. And I calculated this, and it's about a 3-hour trip
Mhm.
from Korat to Bangkok. And on the way back, I was just visibly not okay. I mean,
No.
no one's okay.
No.
But like there's no point in her even pretending that she's okay and like putting a smile on her face because May can't see, so she can just be in her feelings.
As she
When
is.
May breaks that silence by asking I to open the window for her. And I glances at her, but does not respond verbally or by opening the window. She just says nothing. And poor May is just like there, like, can you open the window? And that nothing. And then so May continues and tells I that like, the weather's nice today, and it's a shame I can't see it. So let me guilt trip you into opening this damn window for me.
Mhm.
Is there no window button on it? Is the child lock on?
Right.
Like,
I
what's
don't know
going
why
on?
May can't do it since she knows the car, but I wonder
Yeah.
if this is a test in a way because the way she phrased this by being like, "It's a shame I can't see it." Like she knows that I is soft-hearted and if she sounds pitiful that I will do what she asks because like the last card she has is pity to get I to do what she wants. Like not that May, I mean May's a little manipulative. Let's be honest. Let's all be honest. May is
She
quite
is.
manipulative. Um so I wonder if this is her being like, will the guilt tripping still work to get I to do what I want? Because she wants I for herself because she wants I to want to be with her. She doesn't want to like guilt trip her into it, but like this almost seemed guilt trippy to me the way she phrased it, you know?
Yeah, it definitely
And
did.
then that's when I does it when she's like, it'd be a shame. Like she plays the pity card and then I's like, okay. You know what I
Which
mean?
is ironic considering she doesn't want people to pity her, but she
Right.
plays the pity card.
Right. So this felt weird to me the way it was phrased. But like maybe it's a translation thing, but I don't know. It's just like it seemed that way, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
I and I is like short with her
Yeah.
and like she just says sure before she opens May's window for her. Again, I don't know why she's the gatekeeper of the window. Does this car not have two window things? Like
Right. I don't know.
just
It's weird.
very confused.
Very weird.
Anyway, so this is when May proceeds to stick her entire
Girl.
arm out of the window
Girl.
to feel the wind created from driving. And this is when I always, every single time she does this in this one scene, start panicking
Yes.
because I'm thinking that her arm's about to get cut off somewhere, somehow. because she won't be able to see if the car is close to something. Like, what if
Right.
there's a sign, a sharp sign that it goes boom? If this was like a slapstick comedy horror show thing, that would have happened.
Well, it's like this gave me the same anxiety May gave me when she was on the motorcycle with I and takes her hands off of I and is like, "Yay!" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Girl, no! If like you can't see if I has to swerve out of the way real quick, like this seems so dangerous." Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I was with you.
Meanwhile, I is still sad
Yeah,
and doesn't even glance towards May,
no, I
which
is so
says a
distracted.
lot because usually she loves to live in May's happiness. So she likes to look at her when she's enjoying something. But like now well, first of all, she's driving,
Well,
but
yes, there's
uh,
that.
not even to look at her and like smile herself because
I
she's like
know.
carefree right now.
Yeah, well, that's how like eyes like the sunset. She's in her sunset feeling. She's just like lost all hope. Like, look at her. She looks like a sad, wet puppy. Like, she looks really small and just like so lifeless in this scene. And then the next scene we're gonna get to. It's just so sad. Like, poor Eye. Eye just looks awful. Like, she feels awful.
Yeah. So then we go see what Tan is up to.
Detective
And
Tan's on the case.
yeah, Tan is going to Ploy's restaurant to figure out what happened. And when he gets there, the setting looks very romantic.
It does.
Like they're in front of that like picturesque artsy window that's a
Circular window.
circle.
Yeah.
And there's like this group of unlit candles, so it's not fully romantic because they didn't light the candle. No one lit the candles in this scene.
'Cause they're not
Um,
lesbians.
yeah,
They don't have Lexa complexes. They don't need to light the candles. The fancy candlestick holder from Beauty and the Beast in the background is enough.
true. And Tan brought flowers for Ploy.
Oh, wait, also Ploy, this is her restaurant. She's like, "I'm not spending money on candles for you, just for guests that pay, because they just get water. Like, they're not he's not spending money." She's a
Yeah,
businesswoman. Anyway, sorry.
valid Ploy.
Yeah, for Ploy.
Don't waste your candles on him.
No.
So Ploy looks at the flowers that he brought questioningly and then asks Han if May asked him to bring her flowers because what world would he actually do something on his own? And to
Yeah.
which Han responds, "Why would you think that?" "I don't
Sir.
know, John. Why would she think that?" Let's see.
Why are
You
you
broke
actually
up with
here?
her because May's father told you so, or even if it's BJR's opinion, because May's father was still involved. You are always doing things because May asked you to do it.
Correct.
And you're literally here to talk to her because May wants you to figure out what happened to I. So she's not
She's
wrong. She
not wrong.
didn't tell you to bring the flowers.
Right.
You did that on your own.
You did
But
that part. Right. But you're with
that
Ploy.
was your excuse to get there.
Correct. You're with Ploy because May told you to, basically. Yeah, exactly. So Ploy's not wrong.
No, she's not. She's valid to question Tan's motives
Totally.
because even though Tan thinks he's doing the right thing and trying to employ back, he never does something without there being another reason.
Yeah.
He like there's always another reason that's convenient to get him to be close to her.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know, Ploy's gotten her heart broken by him probably more than once and is like, I'm not getting my hopes up when it comes to you because you never just do things just to make me happy. There's always something else. And that's a
And it's
shitty
sad
position to
because
be
it's
in.
true.
It's yeah, it's really shitty for Ploy, honestly. Because like
Ugh.
what's sad though is that like she does when she gets the flowers, like she does look happy. Like she does have an actual smile, but it doesn't fully like reach her eyes because it sours so quickly because again, she realizes that like you're not this love isn't for me ultimately. It's like that's what everybody's feeling in this episode. Like this love isn't for me. It's motivated by May, which is so shitty for Ploy, you know. What I like
Yeah.
about Ploy though is that Ploy, because she knows this about Tan, but she never holds that against May. You know how some people will be like, "You're getting in the way of my
Mhm.
relationship." Props to her for not ever holding that against May. The fact that he's always around her because of May, not because he genuinely wants to be around Ploy. Not that he doesn't, but like to Ploy's point, his motivation right now is ultimately May, not Ploy. But she doesn't hold that
That's
against
true.
May, you know, which is good.
Because even if it was for, like, the connections thing, like, no, she really does see May separate from the connection part of it.
Yeah, but also, like, she doesn't view May as interfering with her relationship with Ton, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, says a lot about Ploy, where some people would
Mhm.
would hold that against them, the way does later with I.
Yeah. Oh my
So,
god.
Ploy doesn't do that.
Okay, so Ploy responds to him saying that he would not come with gifts if he wasn't asked to do it. Like, he's a guy. And Tan
Okay.
begins to avert his gaze because, she's right. She's 100% right,
She's right.
at least in this situation. Okay. So Todd reveals, big surprise, that May sent him to ask her about I. So
Good job.
Floyd's reaction to this is very subtle, but it looks somewhat like a cross between "I knew it" and "Why does she want to ask me about I?"
Right. Who the fuck's I?
Yeah,
Spoiler.
like, but seriously, couldn't May have just called Ploy up? Why is May always sending Tan to do things when she could literally just talk to Ploy herself?
Yeah, I mean, right now when she's on the 3-hour car ride with I next to her, I understand why she's not calling calling Ploy herself at this moment. Also, she doesn't know to call Ploy because she was just like, "Ton, figure out what the fuck happened and who she talked to." Because May was like, "I was with her like the whole night. I don't understand." Because I think May was like trying to, again, May the analyst. It was like trying to figure out the whole fucking night because she was with I the whole night. And she's like, what the fuck could have possibly happened? I was with her the whole time. And then I
Yeah.
guess Ton was like, let me go to Ploy because Ploy was surveying everything the whole night. Maybe she saw I do something. And that's how he gets the information. I think that May didn't know where to start because, like, she's like, I was with her the whole time, except the one time she went to the bathroom. But who thinks about that? You know what I mean?
And that's fair. Yeah,
They
that's
were
true.
she was like, "Do not leave me at all this whole evening," and I didn't. So I think May genuinely was like, "I don't even know where to start." But then I think Ton just goes to Ploy as an excuse to see Ploy and then is like, "Did you see something? Because I didn't see something. I don't know where to start." No one knows where to start. And May's on the journey
Yeah,
with eyes, so she can't do the investigating.
that's fair.
Yeah. But you're right. Like, also, like, this could have been a phone call. Why is Ton physically here? He could have just called Ploy.
Oh,
To your
because
point.
he wants to see
He
her.
wants to
Yeah,
see her, exactly. So they're having this conversation because of May, but I think he's physically here because he actually wants to see Ploy give her flowers and etc.
but is always that like alternate motivation behind it
Yeah,
that
always.
not great.
No, no, agreed. And Ploy has every right to be like, I don't trust you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ploy tells Tan that she did talk to I, but she doesn't think that she revealed May's secret. So this is when the audience is let in on the fact that even Ploy knows.
Listen, watching this scene for the first time was a trip. Being like, the first time I was like, what do you mean Ploy knows? Like,
It's like everyone literally knows.
everyone knows. Except I.
Oh my
This is
god.
wild.
It's insane.
This is wild.
And like the thing is, Ploy didn't. But the way she says this doesn't necessarily boost any confidence in the situation because she's like, I don't think I did. Be but she doesn't know for sure, like, what happened, like, if she did.
But also, like, Ploy, you were in the room with I. You saw I's face changed when you talked to her. I didn't put that
Did she
together.
though, or was she just like,
I
"I'm doing a great
no,
thing," and
I
thinking
think
about what
that
she
is
has to do next?
I think that's exactly what happened. Ploy's like, I'm such a good friend. Meanwhile, I's like on the verge of crying as she's telling her these things. She's like, these are tears of
She's
joy.
Ploy's like, "Yes,
Boy.
great job. Alright, now there needs to be more bread over
Let me high
there, and
five
then go
myself and
go
go
get
back out
your"
there. I think that was Ploy in that scene. Fucking Ploy. Oh, this is so funny. Anyway, let's keep
Okay,
going. Sorry.
So Ploy asks if there is a problem, and Ton recounts the events of the prior night with drunk eye. Like, and all the things shit that he had to deal with. And how I was saying she doesn't want to be anymore. And
Mhm.
hearing reminds Ploy of their conversation last night, where she wanted I to know she was May's first love. Okay?
Oh boy.
And Ploy, to her credit, is not used to being around this whole situation as much as Han is.
True.
And so, like, to her point, like, she knows who this is, but she's not used to having to be like, oh, you're Fair. She's only had to do it like once, twice ish. And Ploy says that she forgot that I came to the opening as I don't really know how you do that, but okay.
I don't either. Because
But
especially
like,
because like in the Thai language, when they're
you
speaking,
say the
they
name.
refer to
Yeah.
her as So how do you forget that? I don't understand how you'd forget that.
That's the big thing.
That's what I don't get.
Like they could have gotten away without saying any names if this was not Thai.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If they didn't have that language quirk, or like element to the language, I don't know how you would forget that this is that I is pretending to be because you have to refer to her as and like May is calling her like again, is Ploy just in her head being like, "This is going great. I'm so happy." Like, is she one of those people that's just like is not fully absorbing what's happening around her? She's got her own inner monologue going on that's like fucking up everything else. Maybe that's Ploy's
She's
brain.
not an active listener. I think
No,
we've talked
no,
about
she's
that
not.
before.
No, she's not an active observer either, except when her things are being harmed. Like she's like, "Did you just break my glasses? Now I got to step in." Fucking Ploy.
But could you imagine if Ploy was the one to let the bombshell drop and like call her I?
That would have been amazing. I wish she would have.
You know what?
That
It's
would
too
have been
blingy to
great.
do at this point.
That would have been really fucking funny. And then Ploy to be like,
In the
"Oh
middle of the
shit,
entire restaurant too, in the restaurant opening, and she's just like, "Wait,
what do
I?"
you want?" And she's like, "What?"
I caught on to it though, and May would've.
I think May would have
Or
tried to
like, you know
stab
what?
Ploy.
Tan would've, and Tan would've given it away, been like, "No, not I, and like, something like that, and then that's when I would've caught on and been like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
And May would be like, "God
I wish that would have
damn it."
happened. Ploy, that would have been actually more helpful if you would have done that.
Yeah, actually, that night, it would've been more
It would have
helpful.
gone better.
And then tell her about the whole "you're her first love" thing.
Yeah. But like the ridiculousness of this aside, I do think that maybe this conversation with Ton and the way Ploy is like talking about this is supposed to hint at the fact that Ploy has at this stage fully accepted I as May's girlfriend because she was real combative about that one or like not I guess in denial that this was a good faith relationship when like she first met I because when
Mhm.
she first met I it was actually she was first meeting I and like here she is being very much like, oh, they're so good for each other. I just want to make sure I knows May really loves her. And like she's genuinely trying to help. And she's like, I forgot she was even cosplaying her sister. What was her name again? I think that's where Ploy's
This whole
mind was at.
This whole situation is just so ridiculous,
It
though.
is.
Like, the fact that she has
It
to
is.
remember that her best friend's girlfriend is pretending to be her sister and has to
Everybody
remember
knows
not to
that
go.
she's
Oh
pretending,
my god.
including May, but we can't tell I. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It makes I out to be like a buffoon or
It
something because,
really
like,
does.
she's here pretending,
It
and now, like,
does.
literally everyone else knows, and the joke's on her.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I is being deceived by every single fucking person in the show. Even Mima, that's the worst one.
That
Like
is
what?
really the worst one. The
That was the
fact
worst
that
one.
Nima knew about
Fucking
May and
Mima
that whole
knows.
relation.
Like Ploy was a mind trip to find out watching Mima was the worst. Like, what do you mean?
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're almost there.
Yeah, we will get there.
We will get there.
This I wanna go back and watch the reaction for this episode because, like,
I go for it.
honestly, it was a trip to
It's
watch,
on
and
Patreon, guys.
it is. All of our reactions to Pluto
I
the
don't think we
series
put
on
I don't
Patreon.
think we put 8 on YouTube. I think we put 7. Anyway,
Yep. I don't remember.
I don't
So
remember.
so now that they pieced together what happened, that because of this conversation with Ploy, I now thinks that Oom is May's first love and not herself.
Correct.
We cut to May in her car alone, getting off the phone with Ton, who is relaying this revelation to her. My question is like, how did she get alone? First of all, like, did she be like, "I want to go see the sunset. Go check out a spot for us."
Yeah, no, seriously, because like when you get the exterior shots of the car, like this car is parked next to nothing except the beautiful countryside. So it's not like I was like, oh, I need to use the restroom. Let's stop by something like a gas station or a like something so I can go do something, or like I got to go to a convenience store and get something. They're literally parked by absolutely nothing right now. So seriously, what was I doing off screen? How long was May alone in this car? Leave it in the comments, people. Like, what was happening here? Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
I assume scouting for the sunset, like you said,
Yeah,
which either
that
that
seems
was
like the most plausible.
like either that was supposed it had to have been May's idea because I's not talking right now. I's just so out of it. And that's why May's like, can you open the window? It's a nice day out. I think May was trying to engage I and probably also
Yeah,
buy Ton time to do his investigating nonsense. And so she's probably like, can we stop and see the sunset? Like, can we find a place? And then I, like, in her daze, was like, May wants something. I'll go do it. Because May's trying to, like, I think May's worried that once they get back to Bangkok, this is really over forever. And so I think she might be trying to delay it until she can figure out how to fix it. So to buy Ton some time. So I wonder if she did this little side excursion to be like, hey, can you find us a spot so we can just watch the sunset? Because, like, before we go back to Bangkok and we're in the city, we're here. Like, I only have one life. Like, she guilt trips her, and then I's like, fine, I'll go find a spot. And then she's probably scouting a spot that's safe for May to walk down. You know how I would like do
yeah.
all of those things? That's probably what's happening. And so May has enough time to like make a phone call, be like, what the fuck did you find out, Detective Don? That's my best guess.
I think that's a very good guess. And no matter what, I'm just glad that it gives her a bit of time to sit with the information and just like process where to go with this.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, until I comes back, opens May's door and tells her to come watch the sunset. Um, and like if this was I's idea instead of May's, I think it shows that she's still a romantic at heart, even when she's sad.
Yeah. I think this really it's yeah, I is super romantic because like she picks a perfect spot and like does all this shit. And it's like I is really romantic all the time. But yeah, so we're about to like go back into our sunset feelings. I think that's kind of like a little subconscious theme that's going on in these sequential scenes with I and May specifically. Okay, so then basically when I goes to get May and she's gonna take her to the spot she finds, we then transition with a shot of wild red roses like very quickly, and then it cuts to them on the bench looking at the sunset over the countryside. And I'm bringing this up because throughout the series there are a few instances of red roses that get sprinkled throughout. Like the main one we've gone over to this point is I gifting May the single red rose and then May keeping the red rose, and you went on a whole like analysis about how like that's represents I's love for May and how May treats the rose, etc. So whether this shot was intentional or not on production side of thing, like here it is. We have two red roses wild in the setting sun, right? So I'm going to read into it because it's here. So red roses, like I said, seem to be used throughout the show to reflect I and May's true feelings for each other, like specifically those two. And so here are the wild roses, like when I and May are at this crossroads situation where they both feel like their love is going to be this unrequited thing that's never going to get resolved between the two of them. And then you have like the two roses instead of like one kind of like sitting there. And then we
Yeah.
transition into them. And then we cut directly from that to I and May sitting on a bench watching the sunset. And
Which is
then,
such a beautiful
oh
shot.
my God, it's so beautiful. So the first frame we get from when we cut from the roses is this very wide shot. And like rule of thirds, rule of nine things going on that's so beautiful where you have on the left side, you have the tree in darkness, like kind of like framing the first third, and then you have like the sun setting in the exact dead center, and then on the left thirds in the lower corner quadrant, you have May and I sitting on the bench. And if you look at the shots, and you were to compare it to the roses, like I and May are in the same like third that the roses were in, more or less so, like on the right hand frame. So could be that we get the roses before I and May as this form of like hope that the love is still blooming despite the setting sun that we're getting. So perhaps like the sunset, instead of like this like meaning of like something's ending, it could be change as the symbol. It's just they don't see it, the change part yet. They see the end, but maybe that's the symbolism there.
That's cool.
Because things are about to change. So like it's an ending in a way, but then it gives way to a new beginning. That's like the sunrise versus the sunset kind of meaning.
You're always amazing with your analysis. I love it so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now May and I are watching the sunset, and I describes the sunset to May. And notice that May isn't smiling like she normally does when I describe stuff, because this is like poetic descriptions to
Yes.
May. She loves listening to it. May isn't even listening to I's description of the sunset because she is too lost in her own thoughts about what to do, like
Yes.
with this new information. Because if she tells I she was her first love, then she's admitting to knowing that she was I all along.
Would that be
But
so bad? Would that really be the end of the world?
I mean, at this point, she's probably like, then she'll know, like, she'll think that I was just deceiving her, and like,
The
I don't know.
alternative is losing I forever though. Like
I know,
you know
like, you
what I
shoot your
mean?
shot, man. Just
Yeah,
just
shoot your
do it.
shot. Like exactly. Anyway.
But if she doesn't, then I is going to still think that May is hung up on her first love, which she is, but it's just not who she thinks it is.
I know, and it like the whole like root like the summation of this little inner monologue May is having is that basically she's admitting she doesn't ever want to tell I the truth, like the whole truth. Which like, girl, like no, like your whole relationship with was basically founded on a lie, and that came crumbling down. And like, did we learn nothing? Come on, May. She's like, no, I can like lawyer my way out of this. I can like maneuver my way out of this, and that's why she like does at the last minute. Is like, I got this. I got one last trick up my sleeve before we have to tell her the truth. You know what I mean? It's like May. Like she's like. It's really fucked up that May is really content with like manipulating I. You know, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
Like we really need to get all the secrets out so we can
Correct.
just be and grow in this relationship because you're always going to be stunted in growth if you're not fully truthful with each other.
Yes. Also, like, at some point, Oom's gonna wake up. And what?
Yeah.
Like, that
I
was
mean,
always a possibility, you know? It was always a
it was a
possibility, May.
possibility, but like there was a good chance she wouldn't
Right,
too.
that's true. May's like, I could get away with it if it wasn't for that pesky Oom, you know?
Like, both of them could get away with it, but then
It's
they
true.
should have
Both of
what if
them,
they
yeah,
had
they're
to
both
live with
thinking
her
that.
being for the rest of their life?
Right, and also like, and not to just knock May and make May seem like the villain, because I is also content with just pretending to be, even though she doesn't want to,
Yeah.
she's also content with manipulating May. So like, guys, come on.
Like, what if never woke up? I'm so sorry,
No, well, I would be sad, but yeah,
But
no, seriously, would they just keep the
and in, like,
charade
20
going?
years, something happened where, like, one of them slips because that's a lot to deal with. Like, that's a lot
Seriously,
to live. First of all, you know what? Mima would be the one to slip because she's like, "I'm just sick of this shit.
yeah, seriously, fuck you
This
guys.
is I," and then they have to deal with it.
No,
And
for
be like,
real,
"Oh,
like
we didn't have to lie this whole time. We could have not had this anxiety around each other."
seriously, what if died? Like seriously, would they have just kept going on with the shenanigans? Seriously, that is a valid question. I don't even want to think about that
There's
because,
so much great
ooh,
questions in this episode
mm-hmm.
that we need you to answer.
I don't want to think about that though, because yeah, I think they're both content with manipulating each other. It's kind of fucked, you know.
That really is messed up.
It is messed up when you think about it. Again, Child Ploy wrote these novels. Nobody is perfect. These are not perfect people. These are just fucked up scenarios that are fun to talk about. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of dark.
Child's like, "What if?"
The novels are more insane, but like, yeah, no, seriously.
Alright,
Anyway,
so while May is spiraling with her thoughts inside her head, I leans over and says her name to get her attention. And apparently, after thinking about it and being lost in her thoughts, the best course of action to May is just blurt out that she met her first love at the Bangkok Planetarium.
like, girl.
It was so random in this moment. It's so random.
It's so random.
I was like,
Poor
"We weren't even
I.
talking about that." And, like, if I actually remembered the planetarium, this would have cleared things up.
Oh, sure, yeah, because you remember every field trip you ever go on as a child. Like, she was in
Of course.
Bangkok, she was like, "I've been there so many times." Like, why would I remember this? Poor I.
And to May's fear, this really was the best way to explain falling in love with I without telling her
Jesus
she
Christ.
knows who she is. But we really should have that conversation.
Listen, seriously.
Just
I'm
saying.
just saying, the truth can set you
But
free.
to I, who definitely does not
No.
remember,
No.
May is just bringing up her first love again, making her feel worse.
Seriously, she's like, "Why are you stabbing me in the heart?" Why? She's like, "I don't wanna hear about your first love, May." May's like, "No, no, no, but you need to listen about this." Like, poor I.
Yeah,
Poor I.
seriously, because
Seriously.
why is May still talking about her first love?
Seriously.
And all I can say is because it's you, dummy, it's you.
I know. You think I put that together later and she's like, "Oh, that's why you were so
No,
insistent on
she put nothing together.
No, she
She
didn't.
never
She
puts
didn't. She put
anything
nothing
together.
together.
No,
Poor I. My poor dumb baby I love you.
she's the best.
She is the best.
She's oblivious, and I think that's why I love her too because
I just love her.
I see some same qualities in there from me.
My poor baby.
Anyway, um, May chooses to tell I this way because she wants I to remember herself, which is putting a lot on I to remember something that happened 10 years ago.
Seriously. Also, Your Honor, all the evidence up until this point points to I not remembering a goddamn thing about this because May has like subtly brought this up multiple times and I just don't remember it. He doesn't
At all.
remember.
Has not given even a clue. Does not talk about her childhood. Well,
No.
no, she did, but not that time.
Oh my god.
So, of course, I responds by asking, "Why are you telling me about your first love?
Because
I don't want to hear this.
that makes sense.
In any relationship, you should not be bringing up your first love."
No.
So, to I, May is just making things worse because she already thinks that she can't compare to her first love. And now May has to be still hung up on her because, well, them, because she is still talking about them randomly when
I
they're trying to watch the sunset.
know. Poor
It's the sunset, May. This is not the time for first love
I.
conversations.
Or I.
So May grabs I's hand and tells her that she just wants her to know the story randomly. Just, I want you to know about my first love. I will never get over them, even though we're together right now.
Or I. This is so funny.
So May's hoping that if she literally tells her what happened, then I will start remembering. It's
Okay.
not how it works,
No.
but sure. But I still has no reason to connect this story to herself. So at the most, I feel like she would just think, hey, something similar happened to me as well. Like, there's no reason for her to be like, oh, is she talking about me? Because May's like, May doesn't even be like, oh, do you remember in high school? No. She's just like, when I was in high school.
It's fucking ridiculous. This whole thing is absurd.
And so poor I looks away in sighs because she definitely does not want to hear about the girl that May still thinks about.
No, like not at all. Why would she want that? Especially if this is actually about because I still has that inferiority complex when it comes to She's like, I can never measure up to Oom is who everybody wants. I'm just like this afterthought, you know? And she's like, I definitely don't want to hear May wax poetic about my sister and how much she loves her at this point. But like to Ai's credit though, despite all of that, despite clearly not wanting to hear this, she does sit there patiently and let May tell her the story. Because Ai's a
Yeah,
softie.
and I'm sure it was so painful for her to sit
Listen,
there.
I'm sure this was awful. And she was like, how do I get out of
She's
this?
like, I'm trapped by the sunset.
Yes.
So, May recounts the story of how she had the chance to join a science competition at the Bangkok Planetarium, where she met someone. And this is when we flash back to May arriving at the planetarium. And before we get into what happens,
I think she's
I saw
leaving
this, or yeah, okay,
because they're leaving the competition.
leaving the planetarium. Sorry.
That's okay.
I did some research on what this United States ship thingy was because I personally did not know. And I'm like, United States, why is that there? So it took a little bit, but I found out that it's the model of the Apollo lunar module that the part that's like landed on the moon.
That's
That's
pretty
why
cool that
it's
they
there.
have it there.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. You
I was
little
like, it's
nerds.
so random. It's random to see United States in other
Oh,
places. So
absolutely.
I'm gonna- yeah.
Okay. So they're at the planetarium and we watch May, this is like little high school nerdy May, is walking away from the planetarium with her team after the competition ends. And fuck these kids because I'm gonna call them the teenage terrible twosome by the way they fucking treat May. Because they're out here bitching that May is the reason they lost the competition because May got one question wrong and they like we came all the way out here and you cost us the whole fucking thing, May. You're the worst and we hate you. Like fuck these
Everybody's
kids.
fear when they're in like a competition being like the person to make you lose
Fuck
just by
these
answering one thing wrong.
seriously, fuck them kids. And judging by May's body language when she's like walking away with these kids, this is like not the first time she's been put down, is my assumption. Because if you look at her when she's walking, she's like hunched over. May's never hunched, first of all, adult May. And then she's hunched over and she's like clutching her books to her chest, like she's crossed armed and looks like smaller. And her eyes are on the floor. She's not looking at anybody. Meanwhile, if you look at the other two students, they're like head held high. They have like all the confidence and audacity in the world because here they are saying all this shit. So like May is clearly like put down by her classmates. And like they traveled here as a team and like this is how they're treating her. Like poor May, you know? All right. Then they call May a Nepo baby, basically. They're like, you're only here because your dad's rich and you're useless and we hate you. And then one of her own teammates knocks into May, like forcefully, causing her books to fall out of her hands. Like, these kids are awful. These are her classmates, like treating her like trash.
Not just classmates, teammates.
I know. It's fucked up. Also, you don't get to be on science competitions because you're rich. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. But
And
whatever.
if it was, why with all that power of richness, would you choose to be on a science competition?
I listen. I mean, because academics are prized in
Yeah, true.
Asia. I mean, should be prized here too, but it's not prized to everybody. But anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then I noticed something on her binder that May's holding. She has this cute little sticker of this like a crescent moon that's like angled and like laying in a crater, like smiling. It's really cute. And to me, it was just evidence that like May was super into space before she even gets here. Like she already had that, you know, which is really cute. It's like May had a
Yeah.
personality, it's just none of these kids cared, right? Okay, so then after May gets her books knocked out of her hand, she has to pick them up. We get like a wide shot, and the terrible twosome teenagers walk away. And so, where you said by the lunar module, um, she's in this exposed area, and if you look at the shot, you can see where she ends up. So she's going to round this corner and go to the overhang by the planetarium, and that's where she's going to run into I. So poor May. So the May collects her books and starts walking that way, and she looks like basically like super resigned to this kind of treatment. It's like people treat her like trash all the time. So there's like no trace of lawyer May whatsoever. Lawyer May, who is like, I'm recording this shit, I'm gonna fucking bust your ass. Like, you know what? None of that is here. This is just like a kicked puppy that's like, I'm used to getting kicked, which is awful. Okay, so then she ends up walking under the overhang, like the covered area, and there's more students about her now because where they were at earlier, there wasn't anybody there. There's more like kind of students like looking at stuff, and she's on her cell phone now, and she's talking to Tan. She's like, Tan, I don't want to go all the way back to fucking Koret, which you said is 3. I don't want to get on a 3-hour bus ride with these fucking horrible people. Can you come get me? Can you come 3 hours from Koret to come pick me up? That's what she's asking him to do, unless he happens to be in the area.
But, like, seriously, she's always asking him to do something
I
no
know.
matter how, like,
I know.
the way it is for him.
I know. The other thing I noticed was she was asking this of Tan. The translation says, "I don't want to go back with the others from school." So others, like that language choice to me indicates that May is super not close to anybody in school because that's like a distance kind of descriptor the way she describes them. So like it seems like May is very isolated as a kid, which we already knew she was at home, but like this is confirming that even outside of the house, she's also just isolated, which is so sad. May's backstory is the saddest fucking thing ever.
It really is.
It's
I
so
mean,
sad.
this also is showing that she had Tom the entire time,
Yes,
though,
that's all she
which
had.
is great.
Right. And eventually Ploy, but like, yeah. That, yeah, exactly. And so, like, I do wonder, like, it reads like May didn't have any friends at school. She had her cousin and then Ploy at some point, but like, I mean, I don't think she had any other friends. Do you?
I don't think so because she seems like the type of person who would, like, hold friends close to her and, like, she would still
Yeah.
be friends with them to this day.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no evidence of that at all. So
There's no, like,
anyway.
no evidence of even like, you know how you have school friends, like, people that you
Yeah.
sit with in school? I don't
Right.
think she even had that.
No. No. I don't get that vibe. Okay, so then she's on the phone with Ton. He doesn't. We don't get the answer, or we don't hear his side of the phone call. She's walking, asks him this question. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 girls bum rush May. One of them steals her cell phone. Like, who does this? She's on the phone. Someone takes the phone. Who the fuck does that? That's so weird.
It's ridiculous.
It's weird. And they're wearing different school uniforms. So this is not people May knows at all. These are 3 strange girls that just steal her phone. And they encircle her, which like traps May. And then these thugs assume off of I don't know what that May is rich, maybe her school uniform. They're like, that's a fancy school. You got money? And they try to extort her for money. And of note, when the girls circle when the girls circle May, this is where I'm confused. These girls are wearing short sleeve uniforms, which is I's high school uniform, not So, like, was everybody at the planetarium? Like, why were they here? How close to the planetarium are
Oh,
these
that's
schools? Were they just hanging out?
interesting.
That's why I don't know that this was a field trip because, like, this is I's classmates, not Oom's. Oom's school is long sleeve. These are short sleeves uniforms. So I don't know what the hell this is all
Interesting.
about.
So then why does
Yeah.
she have Oom's uniform on?
Who she was pretending to be Oom that day. That's why I don't know why they're all here. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why they're here. Like, was Oom's school there as part of the competition because they're both private schools? And like I's classmates are here.
That would be a
I
terrible
don't
place to
know why.
pretend to be Oom then. Because like
Yeah, she didn't need to be Oom. Well, I don't know that I would be hanging out at the planetarium voluntarily. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the context truly of why all these schools are here. Like, because like These kids these kids don't seem like the best and brightest from I school, unless these are the champions I school sent to go to the STEM competition, and like, I don't get that vibe,
they
but,
don't
like,
have much going with them going for that
you know what
school.
I mean? I don't get that vibe that they're here for the competition. Maybe they're the bullies there and just like, rich kids are gonna be here, let's extort them for money, and they're the opportunists from I school, and then I was like, I had to be here because I'm boom today. Anyway, but, like, that's where I got confused. If you have thoughts, let me know. But like, I don't know. But anyway, these kids are from I school. And so, okay, so then now we'll set the scene. May's encircled by these three girls. And I have to like point out that like they're not alone. These three girls from I school are encircling May. And then behind May, there's two girls from Oom school in the long sleeve uniforms who are like looking at posters on the wall. So like they're not alone. So May is like center of attention right now, and she like doesn't know what to do because these bullies are like, "Give me your money, kid," and she's like, "Huh," and it almost is like May for a second. May's almost gonna like give in and just be like, "Whatever," but instead she like lunges for her cell phone and demands to get it back. So like, there's some fight in May. She just like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, which is something. Then it starts getting violent, and the thugs literally start tossing May around and hurting her because she's like, "Ouch!" She says, "Ouch." Meanwhile, the girls from Oom school in the background, the bystanders see this and they're like, "We're out." Once it gets physical, they fucking leave. So fuck those kids. Also, fuck all these kids. Kids are awful.
They really are.
So awful. Okay, so now that May's being manhandled and there's no more witnesses, the thug leader decides that, well, if May's not going to willingly give us what we want, we're just going to take it. So basically, this is on you, May. If you get hurt, it's your fault. Like, she's always getting gaslit, you know what I mean? And victim blamed. So then they forcefully, the lackeys forcefully strip May of her backpack and start going through her property.
I just don't understand how this happens. Like, why bullies exist? Like, how is it hard to be a decent person? Like, what makes someone think like, "Oh, it's okay to steal someone's things, go through it, hurt them?"
Oh, there's like the thrill of power, number one. And like, this is, I think, classism yet again, because who's doing this? These are kids from I school, the public school. So these are people who don't have money. And like, here's rich kids. And so they're like, well, I don't have money. You have money. So I'm just going to fucking take it from you. It's like desperation and like survival shit. Whereas like May is like a privileged person just walking through life with no worries. And like these kids, like who knows what their home life situation is like? They could have a Ben situation where they have like single parent that's struggling, like, you know, and they're just poverty breeds this kind of situation because they're desperate, and here's somebody who's easy to extort. It's just, you know, we don't know their situation, but my assumption is it's a classism social thing. But I get
That
it.
makes
People that
sense.
are just people that are privileged and that are just bullies, fuck them. Because like, what the fuck are you being bullies for? But yeah, it is fucked. Okay, so while this is happening, they're like going through her shit. May decides again to try and like take her phone back. So she lunges for it, but like is whining, "Give it back, give it back." So like while she's fighting or doing her best attempt at like putting up a fight, like she does not come off as like strong or intimidating in any way, shape, or form. So obviously this fails against the bullies who are just projecting all this power and confidence and like, you know, being intimidating, you know.
Yeah, and when she like realizes that she's failing, she just stops trying to fight back as much and like just resigns herself to the fact like that this is just gonna happen.
I mean, I don't blame her. She's outnumbered. First of
Yeah.
all, you know, like she was fucked from the beginning. Okay, so then as a punishment for resisting, the thugs then grab May and force her onto her knees, like execution style, while the leader winds up her fist to like deck May in the face. But then something unexpected happens. A third bystander shows up and actually fucking does something. And so the third bystander is teenage Ioun, who shows up boba in one hand and the other hand stopping the bully. Like she's ready to like throw fists at these strangers. She probably knows them actually.
But the look that she gives these attackers is everything. She's just like, "You little bitches. Like, really? This is what we're doing right now?"
Like she looks so unbothered. And like of all the people in this room or wherever they are, she has the most confidence and audacity. So it just takes one hero with less fucks to give to like stop this. Okay, but like that's what this is I's entrance. This bitch drinking boba stops the fist fight and just like casually intervenes. And then meanwhile, May is on the ground, okay, with her eyes scrunched very tight, waiting for the punch, right? To get hit in the face. But it doesn't happen. It's just like classic Ioun. It's just quiet. No, and May doesn't know what's going on. Right? So the whole silence with I and Oom not telling her what's going on starts with the very first interaction with their sister, right? It starts right here, which is so funny. Okay, so it's quiet. No one tells May what's happening. So then May opens her eyes and sees I for the very first time. And like, what a fucking sight. Because like this magnificent stranger who's drinking boba casually is holding her attacker's fist back. And that's why she didn't get hit in the face, right? And that's all we get of the flashback. And then we cut back to present day May, who has this dreamy look on her face and says, I still remember. And it's like, okay, girl, if this was the memory I had, I would also never forget a single detail of this because wow. Like I would never forget I either because like oh my god, like that's the first time she like laid eyes on I and I's just like casually holding this like bully's fist back from hitting you in the face looking like a fucking superhero. Like yeah, I would also never
Yeah,
forget this.
like, May couldn't fight back with her entire body, and here's I, like, with not even, like,
One hand.
trying.
One hand, not struggling at all and it's just like you know what I mean? I would also never. I understand why I was like that was a Tuesday because I fought bullies all the time. But like this girl was like,
Yeah.
I would never forget this ever. This was a magical moment.
No, if someone did that for me, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So so may I assume recounted this to I assume some of this, and then, but I don't know. I don't know what she told I and what she didn't in this dream or the flashback, not the dream. But then what she does say out loud is then she tries to like describe I teenage I, which doesn't work because she's like describes essentially because May's like, well, this heroine that saved me was wearing a long sleeve uniform and a ribbon in her hair. Because May did not know that I and went to different schools. I don't know. I don't know that ever explained. I don't remember if explained.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stole my
She
school
couldn't been
uniform one
she
day,
was
and
in the
like,
wrong uniform.
yeah, I don't know that I knows that or May knows that. And then she's like, but also, like, this description is super vague. She's like, wearing a long sleeve uniform, had a ribbon in her hair. That literally could be any high school girl. Like, this was also not
And
helpful.
again, I has no reason to associate this with herself because there is no indication that it was about her.
Correct.
Like, she couldn't even be thinking it was
But
either.
also,
Like,
like, if she told her these bullies came at me, and then this girl, my first love, held her fist back. Like, I assume May would have had to explain all that because if she's just like, I was at the planetarium once and I saw a girl with long, you know what I mean? I don't think I
yeah.
would ever remember be like, that's cool, May. Why are you telling me this? So I feel like she had to tell her like these bullies were beating me up, and then this girl comes out of nowhere and like looked like a goddess drinking boba holding this fist back because like May tells her this and then she's like she was wearing a long sleeve shirt uniform and then had a ribbon in her hair and then that description in conjunction with whatever May told her about the flashback I think strikes some kind of chord with I because then I turns into the math meme without the floating equations. She's like trying to put it together and she's like what are you trying to tell me, May? And then we do get a flashback in I's brain to when she was with and she took the uniform that one time. So I think with she's like, I did cosplay one time. Like, could that have been me? Because like to that would literally be a dream come true if she's like, it was me all along, because I would definitely fight bullies if I saw May getting extorted. Like, who wouldn't? And so like I think that flashback is like I getting her hopes up that like, oh, it could have been me, right? Because I look like Oom's not gonna fight bullies. I was gonna fight bullies. But it happens really quickly, and then I like the spell breaks because I think, and she's like, "That's enough. I don't want to hear this," because I think she's like, "There's no way I'm that lucky that that would actually be me." You know, I is like too down on herself to like entertain that hope. She's like, "No, no."
Mhm.
But like to May's credit, like May very quick like sees that not sees, but hears the change in I's voice, and then she very quickly tries to clarify. She's like, "No, no, no, listen, listen." But I cuts her off, and she's like, "The sun has set, May. There's nothing to see now. Let's go." And I think that brings it back to the whole sunset feeling thing because the sun has set, meaning like the hope, the light, it's gone. It's time to move on. I think that's like the implication of what I is saying. And I think,
Which is sad.
yeah, which is really sad. And I think May also feels that sunset feeling because I think this was her like Hail Mary, which is like maybe we can change the course that we're on. But I think she also feels that darkness because replies with, "If we stay, all that's left is darkness, just like my life, don't you think?" Now, I think this can be read as May's sunset feelings, like the sun is setting kind of deal. Or this could be read as May trying to manipulate I again by playing the pity card, which is the Chow Planoy version of this character. So that's open to interpretation, however you're viewing May. Could be both. Like May's in her feelings, and it's also like, please don't leave me. I know the pity thing still works. And in some
It's just
aspect,
insane that she's using the pity.
yeah, like it could be she's just saying it. It could be manipulative. Who knows? But in some aspect like that, pity does work because after she says this, like I looks at her with like this concerned look on her face because like at the end of the day, regardless of how she's feeling, like I genuinely loves May and doesn't want her to be sad, and you know, so like I think that that card is always going to work no matter what, whether May means it to manipulate her or not. Like May said, I is a soft-hearted person and like is going to respond to that because that's in her nature. That's just kind of who she is. But yeah, we're both kind of left with like the sunset feelings, the finality at the end of this. Even though, like, there was a spark of hope when I was like, "Oh, shit, maybe it was me." But, like, I doesn't have the confidence to be like, "Nah, I don't that can't be me." I want it to be, but, you know, the sun
Yeah.
has set,
It's
May.
just she's gotten her hopes up a lot, and she doesn't wanna let that happen again.
Well, yeah, the ultimate version of that was when she told May she loved her, and May was like, "I love you too," and that was I getting her hopes up that this is about me, and then again was just like, "It's never about me, never." Even when I get my hopes at their highest peak, like, it's never actually about me.
And the fact that it's actually always about her.
The ultimate irony.
Mm.
Ugh. All right. Well, that's where we're going to wrap up this episode because here we are. And before we conclude this, let's do some Taylor Swift songs. So the one I have for this episode is Look What You Made Me Do," because like that's like the story of May's life because that's May's dad making the threats about Oom where he's like, if something happens to Oom, May, it's your fucking fault. Like, and then Kasul, like, hitting May in the back of the head during the struggle, because like, he's like, he didn't mean to hit her, but he's like, "You were fighting me, look what I did." Like, you know what I mean? It's just every poor
Yeah.
May, constantly.
Mine, I think I'm gonna go with is Bad Blood because
Mm,
And May started to have bad blood. Kasol and May I mean, May and her father always had bad blood,
oh,
so
yes.
so I think that one just encompasses the beginning opening flashbacks. It's
Yeah.
got a lot of bad blood going down.
Also, you can argue that Ploy and Ton, there's bad blood between them
Yeah.
because fucking Ton keeps doing shit for May, not for himself. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Alright.
That's Taylor Swift.
So, big gay energy award time.
It's
I know what I'm
Teenage
doing this time.
I.
Yeah, it's
Teenage I
teenage
with the
eye
boba
catching
showing up.
specifically catching the hand,
Oh, yeah,
the
no,
arm.
it's specifically holding the hand and drinking boba casually.
Yes.
So much big gay energy. You can't
And
really
that
top
look,
that.
just be like, it is the best.
That was the fucking best. Agreed. All right.
All right. So now it's come to my challenge where we just want to know if you made it this far in the episode. And so we've already given you a bunch of questions to answer throughout this episode. So make sure to answer all of them. I don't remember what they all were. Um, but
We'll never know if you
my
made it this
challenge
far.
no, the challenge part of it is I want you to put the word pterodactyl somewhere in there.
My God.
Because that was the random word that came to my head. So, and it's hard to spell, so don't look it up either.
Good luck with that. Don't listen to spell check when it tells you did it wrong either.
Yeah. Can't wait to see how people can incorporate that.
Should have made it something space themed because they were at the planetarium.
I was thinking about that, but that would have been too easy.
Use the word Apollo.
Because
Anyway.
just talk about the model. It's pterodactyl. Maybe I'll use space next time.
Good luck. Okay, so that was the beginning of episode 8. We'll be back to conclude the rest of it next time. And until then, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.